Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Nice. Hello, party people. What is happening? How are you doing? Oh, I'm chilled. Whoops. Noises in the background. It's not ideal, is it? So, how are we? Is everyone okay? Let's have a look at who is in here, shall we? We have Pradeep Sekar, welcome. Oh dear, oh dear. Brian, excuse me whilst I pie taste. I don't know, have I had a pie today? No. Can't remember the last time I had a pie. Klein Honorzorg, welcome, sir. Or madam. Or whatever's in between. Hello, Shiva Vareen. Hello, Enrique Vasquez. I'm well, how are you? Good evening to you as well, Klein. Adam D, hello, hello. Michael John, welcome to you. Welcome to Prof. Melvin as well. I hope you are all well on this Monday, July the 4th. Oh, July the 4th. Do I want to say congratulations or happy July the 4th? I don't know. I am British. I don't know. Should you still be living under the crown? No, to be fair, you shouldn't. I'm happy for you. Hi, Westernood. Hello. Scent of the day, Ralph Lauren purple label. That's going to be really nice. Yes, in between everything. Hope you're okay. Happy 4th in America. Yes, happy 4th. I'm happy for you. Hello, Cheryl West Boyd. How are you? How you doing, bro? I'm well, sis. How you doing? I'm good. It's been an all right day today, actually. Been a little bit changeable weather-wise. Today we celebrate. Yes, I've seen Independence Day as well. Good film. Bill Pullman. I always thought Bill Pullman was slightly underrated. I don't know why. I saw him in Spaceballs, and I always just had I always used to look out for him in different things. I don't think he's ever been bad in anything. I don't think he's ever been truly magnificent in anything. He's never going to win an Oscar or anything like that, but I always thought Bill Pullman was a pretty decent actor. Scent of the day, portrait of a lady. MJ, I wore that last Monday. It must be a Monday thing. If everybody would like to tell us what the scent of the day is, that would be fine. Cue the Hamilton song, You'll Be Back. I haven't seen it. There's a lot of politics around that, wasn't there? The Hamilton thing. We'll try to stay clear of politics here. I mean, we'll try. It's not always easy because everything's political, isn't it? But there we are. We try to talk about fragrances and fragrance-related topics if we can. MJ, ordered Les Indomables samples. Ooh, you can't go wrong. Anybody know if they throw in the colognes? I don't think they do. They might do now, but they didn't when I ordered them. So you might want to get back in touch. You can get samples of the colognes, though, I'm pretty sure. So get in touch with them before they ship them and ask. And if you need to, just pay an extra couple of quid for the colognes. Escal in Haiti is beautiful. To be fair, Escal in Indonesia is really good as well. I think that's going to be one of the next fragrances I buy. Huge ambergris. It's like 10% of the 10% of the formula's ambergris, which is massive. Massive. Shiva Varina's wearing a Braj Smelling and looking expensive like me gas bill. At least they don't smell like your gas bill or gas. Yeah, gas is painful. Like, everything's painful at the minute. Just talking to Ramsey about it, just talking about like inflation and shit like that. It's absolutely devastating, like, because ain't nobody getting a 10% pay rise. You know what I mean? Prof Melvin is wearing Eau de Guerlain. Aha! That's the one with the bit of mint in, is it not? I bought that for a friend of mine. It's quite nice. Pradeep Sakar is wearing Rose de Taif. Is that the the extrait or the eau de parfum that you're wearing? Sorry, it appears that the bubbles are already fucked. The bubbles don't usually like break until later on in the stream, but it appears that we have already offed the bubbles. So Klein says, scent of the night after work is Acqua di Parma's Arancia de Capri. I've smelled it, but I can't remember it. Enrique Vasquez is wearing Nishane Saffron Colonized. Do you know, I tried that the other day. It was quite nice. I think the Nishanes that were made by Jorge Lee, or Jorge, it's not Jorge Mendes, that's the fucking football agent. Jorge Lee are better than the ones made by Miguel Matos. Sorry, Miguel, if you're listening. Because he did Sultan Vetiver. Sultan Vetiver let me down something chronic. And I'm pretty sure, no, it wasn't. It was Jorge Lee. Sorry, Miguel. I've completely besmirched you there. Jorge Lee, this was created in 2013. There is a massive, massive dollop of like amber wood in the base of Sultan Vetiver. Like this dark, smoky, woody amber. And that's all there is. Like from like, it's basically like the dry down of the fragrance. Everything else sort of goes away. I mean, you've got like 3-4 different kinds of vetiver in fucking. If it was just that, it would be incredible. The opening and the mid of Sultan Vetiver is stunning. It's just the dry down's absolute dross. You know, if they'd used something else, it would have been great, like a patchouli, you know, or an ambergris. But it's like dry, smoky, woody amber. It was just like crap. You know what I mean? Not to worry. Sorry, Miguel, I've completely besmirched you there. Massive. Paroli, massive. MJ, yes, they do, apparently. So, happy days. Michael John, scent of the day, Amouage Overture Man. I'm feeling daring during the summer heat in South Florida. Wow. Big fragrance down there, isn't it? Spy and Mash says, scent of the day, Eli Saab Vetiver. That's meant to be nice. That whole Eli Saab line's meant to be really good. And then scent of the night, Balenciaga Pour Homme, outrageous. In the deepest summer. Scent of the day, Florentine Iris, one of my favorites. I like that Florentine Iris, the one from Xenia. It's a good brand. I don't know if it still is, but it certainly was when those like private blend bottles that he had in the square bottles with the black base, they were fucking brilliant when they were eau de toilette. I don't know if they still are. Stuff like Javanese Patchouli, stuff like Indonesian oud, I want to say. Maybe. Mediterranean Neroli, the one I've got. Excuse me, whilst I clear my throat. Rose de Taif EDP, the extra is too cloying, says Pradeep. Well, funny that Ramsey sent me the extra and he absolutely loves it. and I get a massive blast of ISOE Super from it. It's a lovely fragrance, but it's like Portrait of a Lady. I put on Portrait of a Lady last Monday, and basically what happened, and I do love Portrait of a Lady, it's fantastic, but I wore it last Monday and I was like, goodness me, all I can smell is like ISOE Super with a bit of rose and a bit of patchouli, a bit of cloves as well. Unusual. Arancia DiCaprio is pure orange, says Klein. Nothing special, but mouth-watering. Have you smelled Orange Sanguine by Atelier Cologne? Because that is just orange juice. Not orange juice. It's what it smells like. Fresh squeezed orange juice. It's incredible how, like the fidelity of that fragrance. It very much smells like orange juice. You know, if you were to get like a carton of orange juice and just take the top off and just have a massive huff of it, that's what it smells like. Bought a bottle of vintage Dune Pour Homme today, says Paroli. Will be my first time smelling it. Ooh. Who was it who recently got a bottle of Dune Pour? I think it was Hines. Jeremy Hines, who will be transitioning at this point. He said he thought it was great, like. So I disagree. What do you disagree about, Spy and Mash? Oops, I pressed a button. Pat Lester, hello. Excuse me. Outrageous. Big yawn there. I only have a yawn when I'm on stream or I'm sending like a voice note to someone. Hello, Rich. Hello, Pat. Scent of the day, Escal and Haiti. Beautiful. I actually got the Discovery set of Les Indomptables as you recommended. Good man. My fave so far is Chypre Azurel, Vanilla Van, and Cuir de Chine. I'm not huge on Chypre Azurel or Cuir de Chine. Cuir de Chine's all right. I'm and ahh'd about getting it. My favourite's Rose de Jamal. Rose de Jamal, Ambre Supreme, Oriental Velour with its outrageous spruce note. And the other one, Vanilla Van, Rose de Jamal, Ambre Supreme, and Oriental Velours. Bloody hell. Klein on his org says, today came 3 backup bottles of ADP Mirror delivered to me. As you remembered me, how good it was last live stream. I love it, like. It's fantastic fragrance. I couldn't stand not having it anymore. 3 backup bottles. I don't think it's available in the new black versions. You know, like that line used to be in brown bottles. Now it's in black bottles. I don't know if the Mirror's still available, like. But I've got a couple of bottles of that because it's amazing. It's a beautiful fragrance, the Mirror. It's absolutely lovely. It's like a complete fragrance. You could wear that anytime. You could try it in the high heat. Might be a little bit thick, a little bit sweet for the high heat. But fantastic fragrance. I endorse that message greatly. I should really do a review of that. Do you know, I haven't done a review on my channel for fucking months. It's ridiculous. It's meant to be it's a fragrance channel more than a fragrance review channel. But I feel like I should do it. I feel like I should do a fragrance review. Bryce says sensational views. Ah, you mean the thumbnail? Excuse me. I'll put my teeth in. Yeah, it was actually raining at the time when I took that picture. Sun, cloud, sunset, rain. It was like 10 o'clock at night as well. So strange. Such a outrageous, like, setup. You know? Rain and sunshine, sunset, clouds, sky going all different kinds of purples. You know what I mean? Camera shite, though. I can't lie. And I'm not a good photographer, so, like, I have this debate with, like, one of my friends. Should I get a proper camera? Like a really good camera. I'm definitely going to get a microphone at some point and a laptop, probably in the autumn. And, you know, like when it's like cold outside and like nobody wants to do anything outside, I'll probably get a laptop and a camera and not a camera. I'll get a laptop and a microphone and stuff and make it a bit easier on your ears and stuff. But I'm gonna wait for that because at the minute I'm doing stuff outside. Or I'm trying to anyway. Plus, I need to save up for one. This coming from a man who bought the moon and the night at the same time. Anyway, Shiva Varun, I wore overture man layered with overture woman last night. You know, that's an interesting idea. You ever thought like wearing the male and the female for layering them? I don't layer things. The only time I would ever layer something is if I put a fragrance on, and I wanted to spruce it up, I would put a cologne over the top of it. You know, it's what Cologne Imperial falls by Guerlain, in my opinion. It's what colognes are for, to bring like eau de toilettes and EDPs back to life. I don't layer, but I think that's quite an interesting idea. Layering like the men's and the woman's version of the same fragrance, you know, over to a man and over to a woman. That's quite interesting. I absolutely loved it, and so did everyone else. Fantastic. Which order did you put them on in? Because that makes a difference, apparently. A good affordable orange juice is the Bastille one. Which one's that, Brian? Can you expand? Michael John says, I hear good things about Overture Woman. I might have to pick it up. I think I've heard good. I think Lyric Woman as well is meant to be quite good, isn't it? Ramsey should be here. He'd be able to tell where he's the Amouage man. Bryce scent of the day was La Lique Silver. Fantastic. I haven't smelled that one. I've smelled the Lique White and I've smelled the Lique Black in white, but I haven't smelled the silver one. You would have thought after doing a black and a white, they'd do a grey, but there we are. Klein says, no mirror, only in brown, only brown. Discontinued. Sorry, I messed up the time. That's fine, I understand. So any bottle of mirror you buy is going to be the right one. That's good. Like, good knowledge, good to know. I should really start wearing it, like. Really good fragrance. Enrique Vasquez, you are a patch lover. It's true, I am, Enrique. I am. See, Enrique's been around here for long enough. Like, he knows me taste now, Enrique. Give me your top 5. Ooh, don't do this to us, Enrique. I can't choose where I do my top patchouli fragrances. You know? But, I mean, that's like the leather video. I mean, like, I've been trying to get Eugene to do a leather video with us. You know? Not that kind of leather video. Like a top 10 leathers, fragrances. Carnival Tribute. Welcome, Carnival Tribute. I have not seen you here before. Welcome. Please pull up a pew. Scent of the day, Amouage Meander. That's one of the newer ones, isn't it? What's it like? Pradeep says, is anyone doing full reviews nowadays on YouTube? Finding one is like finding hen's teeth. Yeah, nobody's doing reviews on YouTube anymore. It's a shame, really. I should be the change I want to see in the world. You know, that kind of come by our shit. I should, like, probably do more reviews. Ramsey does reviews, to be fair to him. How is Meander? Says Klein to Carnival Tribute. I'm curious about it. Shiva says, yes, Michael John. Overture Woman seems to be the better bottle. Together, they are stunning. I went with Overture Man first, then the woman on top. Giggity. You really like it, I think, Rich. Remind me of what? What will I really like? Is Amouage Current still good or weak? I imagine since they were so strong to begin with, even a reformulation now will still be strong. But I would test that. I would test them before you buy, you know. Don't just throw money at it. I beg your pardon. Sorry. Klein Onorzog. I was pleasantly surprised. Quite an elegant sandalwood and iris, slightly oily like Santal blush, but without the culinary aspect. Thumbs up from me. It's a pretty good, succinct little description there. Hello from down southward. Hugo Boss Elements today. Do you know, I've got that. And I was all ready to wear that in the summer. And as soon as I put it on, right, I've worn it once already. I don't know if it's a summer fragrance. Like, I think it might be a spring and autumn fragrance. There's a leather in there that comes out big time on me that I wasn't expecting. You know? Interesting. Like I say, I wasn't expecting it. Anoush. Welcome, Anoush. How are you? Happy 4th of July from north of the border. Hope everyone is well. Scent of the day, various crap that's been sprayed all day. Welcome. Klein says, thanks, Carnival. I'm going to look for a deal. Indecence. Indecence. Hello, everyone. Hello, Indecence. How are you? Oh, so I don't know what we want to talk about. I didn't really have a plan for this live stream. I just thought I've got a couple of hours of a Monday evening. Maybe Monday evening might become like a regular live stream spot for me at this sort of time. It never occurred to us that it was the 4th of July, or I would have left you alone to your barbecues and stuff. But yes, I hope you're having a good time. I hope everyone is safe and well. What is happening? Today, I'll tell you what I wore. Today, I wore... Oh, excuse me. Today, I wore Paris Edinburgh, which is nice. It was good. It's a good fragrance. Has anybody else got any of those Lazo collection? Because the sprayer, I would like to know what you think of your sprayers, because the sprayer on my Paris Edinburgh is shocking. Like, it's really poor. And I'm not very pleased about it, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't buy Chanel's to get shit sprayers. You know? I hate to think that I would have to return it, or like even take it back to the shop, because I haven't got the receipt. And I'm not impressed with the way that sprays at all. Spy and Mash says, I had a bottle of Hugo Boss Elements over 20 years ago. I can't say I'd be rushing to buy another bottle. No, I've got one. I would probably sell mine. Oh, there's Paroli. I've been thinking of picking up a bottle of Boss Elements. It's a shame you don't live in England. I sold you mine. Klein says, oh, Paris Edinburgh is the best Lazo. I agree. I like the mist the sprayer produces. I don't know if it's just mine, but I prefer. It just doesn't. It's not satisfying. There's like something. It feels like there's something wrong with the sprayer. It doesn't spray very much at all, and it is more like a mist. You know, it's not like a funnel or a pump. Like the other Chanels are, you know, stuff like Bleu de Chanel and Allure, the Allure line, or Paul Monsieur, Antaeus, the Les Exclusives. They've all got great sprayers. My Paris Edinburgh spray is crap. It's not a great sprayer whatsoever. Like, Pradeep says Chanel sprays are in general are not the best. I struggle to spray with the 200. Really? See, I think they're all right. I think the other Chanel sprays are sound. It's these Les Eaux that are crap. Or my Les Eaux is crap, I should say. Ah. Let's have a look. I need to find the chat because I lost it. There it is. Pradeep, I agree. The 200ml doesn't fit well in my hand. The 75ml is better. Yeah, my Encre Noir are like that. Like the bottles just don't fit in my hand very well. Paroli says, bad sprayers is my personal fragrance curse. Doesn't matter if it's a vintage or brand new release. Started buying Splash instead. Interesting. So what do you do? Do you splash on or do you decant into sprayers? Klein says it sprays very soft. My guess was that it was intended to be like that because it's like refreshing water mist. Yeah, it did cross my mind that it was like the sprays were supposed to be that way. But it's a nightmare for me because like I'm having to put on like 15 sprays because I'm not getting enough, you know. I want more. Ah, Bob is here. Bob Ono. Welcome. Prof Melvin, yeah, there's a two-hander, says Prody. Yeah, the Ocarina was a two-handers for me. I can do it with one hand. I've got like big hands, so I can do it with one hand. It's just because of the sheer squareness of the bottle, it's a pain in the arse, you know? Which is funny because the Les Eaux bottles are amazing in the hand. Like they really feel great, you know? I wish more bottles were like that. It's the same as the Dior Privés. They feel great in the hand. Bob says girl on IDL sprays are like butter. And butter. Rich, says Prof Melvin. I bit the bullet and bought Lone Star Memories discounted. Well done. Do you like it? It's good to get it at the old price rather than the new one. Very hard to top Dior's atomizer, says Carnival Tribute, and I agree. They have got the best atomizers. It's outrageous. Frederick Mall have got decent atomizers, to be fair. Chanel also says Les Eaux is intended to be sprayed generously. Ah. I beg your pardon. I'm yawning like out. Like literally, I'm not tired. I'm just yawning like fuck because I'm on stream. Paroli says, always decant them in sprayers. The decants bottles you buy for $10 on Amazon got better sprays than 90% of the fragrance houses. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've got these little 2ml spray, like little 2ml sample vial things that I bought to like decant fragrances in and like share with people. The sprayers on those decants are mint. Like little 2ml, shitty little 2ml things from Amazon. You get like 30 for a tenner. And the sprayers are immense. You know? Pradeep says, if Tom Ford private blender's a good spray, it's probably fake. Carnival Tribute says, yeah, the newer M7 bottle is pretty uncomfortable. Even the older one. You know how the on the older one, the spray is off to like set off to one side. Depending on how you hold it and which way round it is, it can be easier or harder to spray. But I've got a couple of bottles of the newer M7. I love that fragrance. I properly love it. Like, Fernando Milan is here. Welcome, Fernando. I did notice your comment, but I'm streaming. I've been informed that your Paris Edinburgh bottle is keeping other bottles captive until it gets on the rotation. It got its rotation today. It was set free into the wild today. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. Very good fragrance. I think it'll be good. It's very woody. Like, it's much more woody than I thought. It's like juniper, wood, and lavender. It's a sensational mix. It's blended beautifully. Polge at his best, you know. It's what Polge the Younger does really well. But I really enjoy it. Like, it's got this green sort of fizzy without being aldehydic. It might have aldehydes in it. They're not listed, but they might have aldehydes in it. But it's very fizzy at the top. Very fizzy, like gin. You know, like juniper obviously is. It's really nice at the top, and then the mid and the dry down comes maybe too quickly. Like you say, it's supposed to be like, I've sprayed loads of it. Like I say, I mean, you've got to use 10-15 sprays every time you wear it, plus you've got to reapply. But I don't mind that. I really don't mind reapplying now, because like when you get a bigger collection, you've got loads of bottles. Like, it's like, well, just splash, just lavish yourself with it, man. Do you know what I mean? Just get them done. Just get it on. Get more on. Prof Melvin says, just ordered a bottle coming next week, but I enjoyed a sample of it. Well, I'm glad you've smelled it first. Somebody left a comment on I think it was on my review, or it might have been on my haul that I did last week. And they said, I bought a bottle blind and I didn't enjoy it. And I was like, oh, mate. I didn't want to say it, but like, I was thinking Lone Star Memories is one of those fragrances you should really smell first. You're taking a big risk blind buying that, mate. But I did tell them they should get most of their money back, you know. Not every blind buy can work, you know. I would say my hit rate is well above 90%. It's just when the ones that fall flat, if you've spent a lot of money on them, you know, and 100 quid's a lot of money for a bottle of 50ml, you know. Don't blind buy based on people's recommendations. Do as I say, not as I do, because I do that, to be fair. Stupidly. Learn the lesson from me. Tried Amber Absolute today, says Spaced Out. Meh, nothing special. Amber Sultan is weird, but I agree. I think Amber Sultan's probably the reference amber. I haven't smelled a better one yet. I've smelled some that are pretty great, but never one that's topped it. I beg your pardon. I'm lying on my front now. Excuse me. Can't stop yawning. What the hell's going on? Drawn by Senses got Oh Noble yesterday at last. Le Gallion 2014 version. Citrus and greens along the lines of YSL Pour Homme, sort of. Teeny bit of civet. Happy blind buy, luckily. So I've got YSL Pour Homme. I don't like it. Just don't like it. You would think I'd love it, but it reminds us of Pour Monsieur. A bit more aromatic, a bit more sort of spacey at the top. Would sell, definitely. I've got a vintage one with the red cap. I think it's a 2000s or a 90s. It smells as fresh as a daisy, like. But it's not for me. It's not my type of fragrance. Very dry. Even though it's got lemon in it, it's very dry. I find it quite caustic. Thomas from Early Greek, Stumptown Smells, he absolutely raves about it, like, and I know the prices are going through the roof. Yeah. Pradeep says Moschino Toy Boy is one of the best atomizers, plus teddy bear bottle for $25. Yet these luxury perfumes can't care. The thing is with Moschino, they're a big house. They can afford to. I wonder how much Eugene paid for his sprayers. Estee Lauder Intuition for men as one of those offset sprayers. Yeah, they can be a bit of a pig. Somebody mentioned Amber Pour Homme, Prada Amber Pour Homme. While it's a sensational fragrance, and I actually like the bottle, picking the fucker up and spraying it, especially if you haven't got big hands, yeah, it's just a nightmare. Like, you have to hold the bottle with two hands, like, if you haven't got like the size hands to do it. Be an absolute pig, like, you know. Westernwood says my Tom Ford ombre leather sprayer leaks like fuck and doesn't sit straight either. I guess the fragrance is evaporating away like crazy. Send it back. It's a pain in the arse, that. Like, you shouldn't have to pay for that shit. It's not what you paid for, you know. One of the best things to say to like a company when they say like, well, what do you want me to do? And it's like, well, fucking hell, I didn't pay for a sprayer not to work and to let all the fucking horses bolt out of the fucking stable. Dickheads, do you want to give us a bottle that works? You know, they charge enough money. They charge you enough money, right? They charge you enough money for what you're getting that should at least work. Carnival Tribute agree. Asymmetrical bottles are upsetting to hold. Yes, upsetting's a pretty good way of putting it. Bob says, I want to see full Toy Boy review done by Galen or Rudy, no snickering. Prof. Melvin says, anyone have experience or opinions on Lubin? I'm curious to try some of the historic perfumes. Is Lubin the house that did a CAD, and they did another one, and I can't remember what it's called, Idol. They've got a good couple of ambers. I know Anouge had a couple of vintages, but they weren't cheap because like Lubin's a really good house, you know. They weren't for me, but they are good perfumes. I get the 5 or 10 ml decant, says Paroli. I think they are made by Elphinstall or something like that. Same bottles the good decanters use. Got one defective sprayer and like 100 bottles, 0 leaking. You know, like a 99% hit rate's not bad. For a smaller brand, you want to make sure in manufacturing that shit's going as right as possible. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jura Rose. I hope you're feeling better, mate. How are you? Evening Cowboy Crunchies. How are you? Tell us what you sent to the days. And you, Jura Rose. Spaced Out says, did you try Prada Amber for women? No. I want to try that one. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying that, actually. Fernando Milan says, Amber Absolute is monotonous, literally. I have a 50 ml with the original sticker, not the old golden one. Strong, sticky, smoky, but it doesn't change a millimeter from beginning to end 3 weeks later. Oh, no. That's Tom Ford. Tom Ford isn't known for his intricacy and his like delicacy and all of that sort of thing. It's very sleek, very slick, very power, and very forward and sharp and like strong lines and stuff like that, but not necessarily for his chameleon-like shape-shifting qualities, you know? Cowboy Crunchy says, got round to testing Versace L'Homme, current formulation. Absolutely love it. Richie G's got it and he loves it as well. Absolutely love it. Bought a bottle right there and then. Awesome fry. Yeah, I love it when that happens. You find a fragrance in the shop or something and you try it and you're like, oh God, I can't wait to like I can't keep going on the internet and buying one at like the cheapest price I can get. Just give us a bottle now, quickly, before I explode here on the floor. You know what I mean? It's happened to us a few times. I think Bois d'Argent was one of them. What else? Maybe Antace? I fucking love Antace. It's brilliant. Like. Brodeep says, Guerlain and Dior throwing summer events and giving out Cologne Blanche and Clear Beluga. People flipping them on like, fuck off. Is that what they're doing? Oh, the scandalous bastards. I hate that shit. Why should we have to pay for these perfumes when they're fucking giving, like, dickheads bottles for nout? Why should we have to then go out and pay for them? You know? It's not right. You know? I don't want to use Roger as an example, so we'll use Dior as an example. Right? Why should we now go out and buy Cologne Blanche when somebody else is getting it for nothing? You know? Are they better than we are? That's the inference, isn't it? They can have one for free, you pay for it. Fucking arses. I hate that shit. Well, I say I hate that shit. I dislike that shit intensely. It's just not fair. You know what I mean? It's one of the things I would ask one of these houses would be like, see, you gave a free bottle to, I don't know, name someone who gets free bottles for review. Demi Rowland. I see you give Demi Rowland a free bottle. Are you giving it me and all my followers a bottle for nothing? Is Bride getting a bottle for nothing? Is Michael John getting a bottle for nothing? Is Cowboy Crunchy's getting a bottle for nothing? It's not fair. It's not right. It's insulting. It's patronizing. I understand it. I know why they're doing it, but I find it very cynical. And I don't like it. And I don't want to accept it. You know? I don't lie awake at night, like, tossing and turning, thinking, you know, like, talking in my sleep about, like, raging that, like, somebody's got a fucking free bottle. But there we are, you know? I just think it's wrong. And why should I pay? Why should I pay for a bottle when these other people get them for free? Are they better than I am? Anyway. Have you seen the new Dior Privé prices? Yikes, no. And by the sounds of it, I don't want to. Fortunately, I've got a shit ton of Dior Privés, and I've got all the ones I want. I want to smell the new versions of Cologne Blanche and Eau Noir and Bois d'Argent, but frankly, there's no guarantee I'm going to buy them. Simple as. Perfume prices are going insane, says Dura Rose. Versace Llama is crazy underrated. I've got a vintage, actually. I've got an older bottle. And it is better, but it's not so much better that I would tell you that you're missing out. Because you can, Jesus Christ, you can get Versace Llama in the current formulation, which is proper spot on, right? Like, the latest formulation is pretty good. And you can get the latest version for like 30 quid, 25 quid online at discounters. Cheap as chips. Sensational. If you're into vintage fragrances, but you don't necessarily want to pay vintage prices, Versace L'Homme, great fragrance. Feeling shite duck in bed? Oh no, Dura Rose. Scent of the day, Habit Rouge EDT to cheer me up. Did you ever get a test? Cowboy Crunchy, scent of the day, Versace L'Homme. Unsurprising. Spine Mash says Luca Turin loves Luban. He rates them highly. I've heard performance is mediocre on them. Strange as they carry heavy notes. I don't know. I don't own any. Deva from Fragrance Bros. We love Deva on this channel. Deva was very kindly sent me some samples of a few of them, including the orange one, which I can. Corrigan. Also, there's another one called Corrigan. There's Corrigan, there's a Cad, and there's Idole. And they're all very good. The amber one I got, I can't remember if it's that. I think it's the orange one. Brilliant. Really nice. But I still think Amber Sultan's a reference amber. And I've got a few bottles of that, so I don't intend to like go around buying products that I don't think are as good when I've got the best. Yeah, it's like $500 or something for the new 3 times 40 mil. What? No. They're charging $500 for 120 mil. I don't care if it's 3 different fragrances with 3 different bottles. You can kiss me fucking arse, dick. You know what you do? You tell the sales associates, everybody told the sales associates that they were a fucking rip-off. It would soon get back to their bosses. They don't need to charge that kind of thing, that kind of money. That is insane. Drawn by Sense is taking the piss, as is Dura Rose. Carnival Tribute says, traveling to the UK soon and wanted to buy some Les Indomptables while there. Anyone know if it's best to go through their website? I think it's the only way you can in the UK is buy directly from them. There's also a website in France called Sans Unique. I'll put it into the chat. They ship all over the world if you spend over a certain amount of money. Free. So they'll ship to you in the UK, but if you're traveling to the UK, get the address and get them to send them to that address probably before you set off, because it might take a week or 2 for them to get there, depending on how long you're spending here, of course. Drawn by Sense, I have quite a few lemon the past few days. You are a lemon. Shave of a Rain. As I'm listening inside Bloomingdale's, I just purchased a bottle of Bal d'Afrique. Outrageous. Is it true that Byredo's just been purchased for $1 billion? Because that shit is bonkers if it's true. That is an insane price, because they're not worth $1 billion. The books must be fucking cooked or something, allegedly. Because they can't be worth $1 billion. It's like Creed. The fuck did you get $1 billion for that? It's like $1 billion is nothing now, is it? You know what I mean? There are loads of billionaires out there, and like multi-billionaires exist now and stuff. It's crazy shit. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I'm surprised Dura Rose didn't remind us. I was parched there. Oh, excuse me. Right. Sorry about that. Spaced Out says, trust me, Cologne Blanche is not that special. It is okay, but it's not the best thing of all time. I was bored of it after 4 wears. Do you know, I bit my cheek the other day and it was, oh God, I just wanted to scream. Enrique Vasquez says, have you tried Baby Cat by YSL? No, not yet, but I want to. The notes look amazing. Paroli says, I don't know if the true price, but that's what I saw on some website, says Paroli. To Spaced Out. Bob says, life is not fair, Rich. Versace, yeah? Who's the guru in this house? Maybe Joy. I think maybe does Robes. You've mentioned Guru. I mean, does Robes have a lot of Versace? Ashton from Gen Sense, he might be, because he talks about all the different Versace quite a lot. Spy and Mash says, Carnival Tribute, you can't purchase Les Indomptables retail in the UK, only online via delivery from Europe. That is true. That is true. I need to hurry up in the chat. The chat's getting away from us. Paroli says, from MFK interview that was posted a couple of days ago that a Collection Privé, the original trilogy limited edition fragrance, set £345. Fuck off. I'm not paying that out of principle. He can stuff it up his arse for nothing and fuck off while he's doing it. There is absolutely no fucking way I am paying 345 quid for 3 40ml bottles of fragrance. That is absolute theft. The Dior Privé should be cheaper now they're saving on colouring. Yes, that's right, aye. So that would be 537 Canadian at the minimum, says Paroli. Well, I'll tell you what, right, you can add the North American perfume tax to that, because that's a real thing as well. North Americans pay more for their perfume mil for mil. I don't know if it's shipping. I don't know if they're just price gouging. But it's probably going to be closer to 600 Canadian, I would have thought, Paroli. Which is just outrageous. Just don't pay it. I was all set, right? Seriously, if that's true, and I've no doubt, no reason to doubt Paroli at all. If that's true, 345 quid, I was going to buy Cologne Blanche, and now I'm not going to. I'll go and smell it. As soon as it comes out, I'll go and smell it. But if you think I'm paying, and then I'll tell them as well, if you think I'm paying that, you're insane. I'm not paying that out of principle. I could. I just bought a bottle of the night and the moon at the same time. But where do you sort of draw the line? At what point do you say, you're having my eyes out? You're taking the piss? You know? There's no way a company the size of Dior, under the umbrella of fucking LVMH, needs to charge that kind of money for those 3 fragrances. It's theft. Anyway. Yes, thanks, Spy and Mash, says Carnival Tribute. I did plan to buy online. Where would it get here before I leave, but it wouldn't arrive in time? Wanted to get them delivered to the UK without being hit with immense fees. If you go through that Sans Unique, or if you get in touch with Les Indemnidables and speak to Valerie, you can just contact them through the website, explain the situation, say, look, I don't want to be hit with immense fees, 20%. I would like to buy them. Could you send them to me? Could you send them to me without me getting stung with these huge fees? She'll know what you mean. And she'll sort you out, which is good. Drawn by Sense says, where's my goddamn free bottle of Blue Stratos? Goodness me, Blue Stratos. I woke up, it was all a dream or a nightmare. Usually the 40 mils are fairly priced, in my opinion. Spaced out, not this time. What is Paroli chirping about, says Bob. He's talking about the Privés. Paid £25 in-store. Good man, Cowboy Crunchy. That is the deal of the century. In-store, 24 quid, 100 mil. Good man. That has warmed the cockles of my heart, that. Brian says the set is 360 euros in Europe. Right, let's just stop right there. 360 euros in Europe. So it's 120 euros for 40 mil. Robbery. Because you've got to buy 3 of them as well. What are they saying? If you wanted to buy 1 of them at a time, you would pay, what, 150? 170? Nah, I'm not having that. Versus 330, if you buy 3 of the 40 mils by themselves, their prices go up all the time. That's apparently the bot, yeah. Raffinade Parfumerie ships Les Indemnidables worldwide. Cheers. Have you used Sans Unique before? And they're great. Yeah, I've used Sans Unique before. I just bought samples of all the Oris. Also, Sans Unique has a 15% off at the minute. The code is summer 2020. The code is summer 22. So if you buy 4 bottles, you'll get 15% off. With Summer 22, I'll put that in the chat as well. So if you want to go to Sans Unique, there is their little discount code. That's not a discount code for me. That's like a discount code for everyone. You know, it's not like a sponsored thing. I don't like that. Keep it up. Free giveaways gets the duck's blood up. It's not even free. It's not even free giveaways, mate. It's like they're buying the narrative. You know, I saw a video from what was she called? Sam. She's a black lady. She's got My World of Fragrance. And I saw a video from her the other day, and it made us subscribe to her. And it's her saying, I won't be talking about certain brands, or I will be talking less and less about certain brands going forward. And it's for the reasons that we talk about on this channel as well. She wants to be more genuine, you know. It's a hollow road. It's a hollow thing to go down, you know. Carnival Tribute says, we currently have to pay duty tax in the UK on orders over £135. So I don't think you'll be saving much. It depends if you can get them to say that they're not worth as much as 135 quid, really. Jura says, talking about billionaires, Elon Musk, fucking Elon Musk, 2 4-letter words there, should buy LVMH to put the oak moss back into perfumes, but he can't, can he? Because it's against the fucking rules. You'd need to buy fucking the European Union, which he probably could with the money he's got. Well, someone got to pay for all the free bottles influencers get. Yeah, exactly, Paroli, and it's us. Exactly, it's us. That's who pays for their free bottles. Oh yeah, Ashton is the fucking Versace man. He is the Versace man. Stephen Theno says that Dior Trio 3 times 40 ml is €360. LVMH can go and fuck themselves. I totally agree with you, Stephen. And it's a shame, you know, because Dior really, if I'm being honest, Dior's probably my favourite house. I've got the most fragrances I've probably got from Dior, not including backups, like separate fragrances. Jules, Dune, Fahrenheit, Dior Homme, Dior Homme Cologne, the original Dior Homme Cologne, fucking Amber and Away. I've got like 6, 7 of the fucking Privés. What else have I got by Dior? I've got shitloads of stuff by Dior. Fahrenheit Absolute, Fahrenheit Aqua, Fahrenheit Cologne. God almighty. I've got loads of stuff by them. Scandalous bastards. Because paying for Johnny Depp billboards and 3 Paris storefronts is more economical than a few free bottles, right? Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It makes you wonder why they do it. Like, Johnny Depp must cost a fucking fortune, I know, you know. He was getting pissed in the town where I lived the other day. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I should say. What is going on? Right, where are we? Rich behind in the chat again. I don't know. Good afternoon, evening, Daryl. Hello, Daryl. Welcome, Nonsensical. I saw you comment on a video the other day. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you here on a live stream. Welcome. Please tell us your scent of the day. Sebastian picked up some hard-to-get Privés on his European trip. I saw that video. Weird that Dior ship only to some countries around the world, but restrict others. Don't they want to sell them? It doesn't make much sense, does it? But there must be some number cruncher somewhere saying, don't do that, do this, do that, don't do this. You know? Fucking nerds. Hello, FCM. Finally, you have arrived. Scent of the day, Killian Single Malt. Jealous. That's meant to be really good. Or is it apple brandy? It might be both. They could ship out some leather oud, etc., surely beyond the borders of France. They'd sell. Do you know? I don't know. I mean, there are certain people who would buy it. The thing is, the reformulated leather oud, and it's got a wet sand note now instead of smelling like fucking like shit and piss. You know, it's not the fragrance it was. The newer stuff. I mean, it's discontinued. You can't get it in Britain anymore. You know, unless there's a couple of bottles lurking about. I beg your pardon. I was offered a bottle of Fève de la Suisse the other day. By a lady who worked in a department store who I have a I don't want to say have a relationship with her because we're not like, you know, we're not together, but she knows that she can like say, look, one of my friends has got like a bottle that she wants to sell a Fève de la Suisse, and I was like, cool. If it's got the C and the D separated on the top of the bottle, I was like, I'll probably buy it, even though I don't fucking need to buy it. But I was like, I'm not. I was like, if it's the new stuff, I was like, I've got to be honest, the new stuff, shit. And I said that to her. She works somewhere else. She works on a different brand now. But there we are. Brian says to Drawn by Scent, some are only in the stores, not online here either. When you're in the Paris stores, you have to ask for them to keep them hidden. That is crazy. I didn't know that. Carnival tribute. Thanks for the tip, Valerie Rich. No problem, Matt. She's good like that. Should just say, look, the fees are gonna kill us, like they're putting us off, you know. Could you help us out? Brian, yes, I heard they're hidden away. Most peculiar. So strange that. Imagine Hermes Roddy, don't. Imagine Hermes Essence reconcentration to EDP, $1,000 for 100 mil, but you've got to spend like thousands of dollars. This is the thing. If you watch Super Jacob, right, he bemoans this thing that Hermescence do with their most famous bags. And that is that you've got to spend a lot of money in store before they'll even give you, like, they'll even put you on a list for one of their bags, you know. Me and Dura Rose, when we went to Manchester, Dura Rose stitched us right up, but I went along with it straight away. It was quite funny watching the girl sort of like, you could see her cringe up in a ball a little bit. She was like, I'll put you on the list. And I was like, yeah, of course you will, love. But Hermes have got this thing where they'll make you spend loads of money before they'll even let you get anywhere near the better stuff, you know, because they're trying to filter people out, you know. Luxury must have got a little bit democratized for them, and we can't have that. We've got to have the right sort of people, you know. I can imagine that going out in a fucking storm in America and places like that, where that's the whole idea, is that you don't have to be the right sort of person, you know. That's old world shit, not new world shit. Well, there we are. Stephen Thino says the 40 mils were 89 euros in 2020. They bumped them up to 120 euros. They increased the price by 33%. Just don't buy them. Just don't fucking buy them. Fuck them. I know. I'm not buying them at that price. That's outrageous. They can fuck off. I didn't realize they were doing that. I'm certainly not buying them if they're only selling them in packs of 3. So if you buy one, you've got to buy all 3. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that out of principle. I will look them dead ass straight in the eye and just say, nope. No, you can either sell us 1 bottle or 3. I don't care about your sales fucking patter. I don't care what they're trying to tell you what you've got to do. I'm the customer. I'll tell you what you've got to do. Fuckers. The front of it. You know what I mean? Aha, Super Dago. We've just been talking about you, sir. About the Hermes journey, in inverted commas. Air quotes. Scandalous. On the other hand, says Malheur Education, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm almost certainly not. But it is nice to meet you, Mala. I have never seen you before. Welcome. On the other hand, if you only have a few bottles of perfume, you could pay more for a few. You could pay a few more for a new Dior bottle. So I get what you're saying. I'm coming at it from a different point of view, in that the Dior have apparently, according to Stephen Thienel, they've put their prices up by a third, like at once. You know? Like 33% at once, 33, 34, 35% at once. That is gross. It's not. It like, the only way to fight, as consumers, the only way to fight back against that is to just, like, I don't want to say boycott it, but just don't reward that behavior. You know? Don't buy them. I would love to try the new Cologne Blanche. I would love to try it, and I'll go in store and I'll get them to spray us with it. But I'm not forking over 360 quid, 340 quid for, like, 3 bottles of perfume, 2 of which I already own. You know? In bigger sizes. Crazy. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Patience, the euro will indeed lead the race into zero. Oh, I forgot to like the stream. Don't do that, Drawn by Sense. I need to try Iris Pearl. Do you know, I was really enjoying Iris Pearl the other day. Do you know that I hadn't got Elisandra? There's a very good chance I would have bought Iris Pearl. It's beautiful. It's so good. All of those Les and Donatella are beautifully made. All the ingredients are beautiful. The blending is beautiful. The ideas behind them are beautiful. The names are beautiful. Everything about it's beautiful. Spaced Out says, I bought Udis, Fahan, and Amber and Away for €90 each this year. What, the 40 mils? 100 mils, says Cowboy Crunchy. Sorry, I'm so behind the chat. I did notice Jacob come in. Welcome, sir. My liege, my lord. Has anyone tried the Aaron Terence Hughes fragrance with oak moss in it? Just curious what it's like. You can't sell it in the UK. I haven't, no. I bet he could sell it under the table, though. Do you know what I mean? I bet he could sell it, like, on the quiet. You know, if you, like, you got him on, like, his burner. You know. Good day, Duck and friends. Good day, Jonathan. And Duncan as well. Hello, Duncan. How are you? Hello, Rich. Scent of the day is Awake by Acqua. Ah, the coffee one, that's really nice too. I like that one. I like Dark, the chocolate one, but I'm not sure I want to smell like photorealistic chocolate. You know? The one I really like and I think I'm going to get is Ink, the new one. It's fantastic. Reminds me a bit of a Beaufort London fragrance. Though we all know they're bonkers fragrances. But the Ink one is tremendous. But welcome, Duncan, also. How are you? Hello, Wesley Garlic. How are you? I know I've already said hello, but I'm going to say it again. My scent of the day is COVID. Taste and smell are gone. Oh, sorry about that nonsensical. I hope you get them back. Greetings, live creamers. Good Lord. Welcome, Eugene. Have you just finished work? Have you listened to that message I sent you yet? H2O, cheers. I thought something smelled good. The man with the great abs is here. Who? Good evening, Eugene, says Klein. There's Jacob. Welcome. Brian, Privé line doesn't exist after Queer Canache for me. Yeah, I feel pretty much like that, yeah. What boils your blood faster, says Bob? Frivolous French giveaways or hyperinflation or retail gouging? I don't know, but I'd probably explode if both of them happened at the same time, which is what is happening. How come they can afford to give away these perfumes, but they've also got to, in inverted commas, they've got to increase their prices, but they can afford to give away tens and tens of bottles. Broad Deep says, yeah, just like watches, guys who genuinely appreciate watches can't buy a new Rolex or Patek even if they save up for it. List. Yeah. Some vintage prices are getting silly, to put it mildly. Reeve Ghost just off the scale now, sadly. When I sell some of my fragrances, I've sold like different fragrances to different people. I sold my M7 Fresh. I managed to get rid of it to someone. I won't name him because he says he's never been like on a stream or anything. But he was like, "Oh, sorry, Rich, you don't know me from Adam. But I heard you say on a live stream you're looking to get rid of either M7 or M7 Fresh, the vintage one. I would love to buy a bottle if that's all right." And I was like, yeah, no problem. He was like, how much do you want for it? And I was like, well, I don't know what it goes for. I was like, let's have a quick look. So I looked on eBay and they're going for like 150, 200 quid. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not charging you anything like that. I was like, I didn't pay that. And if you're into these sort of fragrances, I'll basically just want my money back, like, for what I've paid for them if I want to sell anything. So there's no way. I mean, if I was to put them on eBay, I would put them on at eBay prices. But if somebody comes to us, or if I decide I want to sell something, I would rather sell it to like a fellow fragrance fan. I mean, to be fair, like, people aren't going on eBay and looking for vintage fragrances if they aren't fragrance fans, are they? Do you know what I mean? But if it's someone like that watches like the channel, or someone I know, or a friend of a friend, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I want to make as much fucking money as I possibly can off everybody, you know? If it's going to a good home, that's what they say, isn't it? If it goes to a good home, I'm happy to let it go at cost, like. Anyhow, less of that. Enchanté, says Eugene. Kelly Lyons, welcome. Hi, Rich. Finally made it back to alive. Happy days indeed. Yes, Pradeep. But it is nice that there are lower levels of collectibles passion. Very few can afford a Patek. Excuse me. So I've got a tag, which I bought myself for my 30th. So it's like 6 years old now. I'm telling you, that fucking thing's on its way to being twice what I paid for it. Like, you know? Crazy. Jacob is here, says Bob. He is, or he was. Okay, I will mind my Chanel manners. Please do. Excuse me, I'm gonna yawn. I wouldn't care. I'm not even tired. Like I say, it's only when I'm on stream or when I'm sending voice notes that I get like this, yawning. But Bob's right, and he's pointing to Pradeep, and that there are like different levels of like collecting, you know? Like, if you collect like China pottery, you know, you're not going to get like Ruware and Dingware, you know, like there's only like 75 of those each in the world, and they're all in like the Chinese museum in Beijing. I think it's Beijing. But you can collect other pottery that's still just as interesting. Like I bought a what did I buy the other day? No, sorry, I wanted to buy some there was some Navajo Indian pottery, and I wanted it to go in my China cabinet, the big China cabinet I bought. There's some Navajo Indian pottery, and it didn't sell in the auction, and I tried to bid on it. And it didn't meet its reserve, and I tried to get back in touch with the bloke afterwards, and I was like, look, would you sell us it like after sale? Like, I'll give you the upper estimate, 100 quid. And he was like, nope, it's going into another sale, sorry. And I was gutted, but there we are. I don't know why I told you that. What am I talking about? Next, anyway. Jonathan, scent of the day, Very Valentino. Yeah, I've got a couple of bottles of that as well. It's beautiful. It's a lavendery thing, isn't it? Maybe I'll wear that. Felt like something easy. Yeah. It's got that sort of vintage easy breezy lemon squeezy thing going on, hasn't it? It's good fragrance, though. It's nice. Anuj says to Eugene, your fragrance is going to be massive. Outstanding stuff, man. It is really very good. Well, it's going to be really very good. I don't know that I've said that. I've smelled some of the early submissions and some of the different materials that have been used, and it's just like, wow. Pradeep Sikar says, Bobby, agree. But even guys who can afford it can't buy it as long as they are on the list. Have you ever heard of Masahiro Kakuno? He's got like one of the longest waiting lists in the world. He makes every single part of the watch by hand, and he makes it in like a I don't want to use the word vintage, but he uses like old techniques to make the watches and the parts, and he makes everything by hand. His waiting list is something outrageous, like 13 years now. I mean, it was 8 years. His waiting list was 8 years, but that was a while ago, you know. But if you look him up on eBay, if you look him up on YouTube, you'll see some videos about him, really interesting. Good seeing Dake up here. It is nice to see Dake up here. It's always nice to see Dake up. It was his birthday the other day. Happy birthday. 21 again. Oh, I see. The list, says Bob. That's right, the list, Bob. Look out for the list, Bob. Kelly Lyons says, my Chanel boycott is over. I broke down and finally bought some bottles. Le Leon Gardenia and number 22. Yes, Eugene, that's right, Gardenia. Kelly Lyons managed to buy it. Why haven't you got it? It's the only exclusive that Eugene hasn't got. Outrageous. Thank you, Anush. So glad you liked it. Kelly, very nice. Great way to break a fast. Congrats, says Bob. Thank you, Bob. I must say, I get the hype finally. They are quite good. Excuse me. Sorry. It's 9:30 here. I mean, it's bright as like, it's like daylight outside. I'd go outside and read a newspaper if I wanted to. For some reason, I'm yawning. I wonder if I did one earlier in the day if I'd yawn. Anyway, Callie says, I'm usually an artisan brand fan. And blah, blah, blah. I'm usually an artisan brand fan. You try saying that at 9:30. I'm usually an artisan brand fan and always rolled my eyes at folks saying they don't blend well. But then I tried these Chanels, and I have to concede, sometimes the designers do it better. You've got to remember as well, with the Chanels, it's Olivia Polge and Jacques Polge and Christopher Sheldrake, like three of like, they're not ordinary perfumers. Like, even by like ordinary standards, they are very, very, very good. Even by like designer standards, classically trained, the three of them are brilliant. Like, you've just got to look at the history of some of the stuff they've made. You know, it's yeah, the Chanels are brilliant. Dior's used to be brilliant. Les Indemnidables, I would try them, honestly. I've had my eyes open to Antoine Lee. I think Antoine Lee and Olivia Polge might be the best active perfumers in the world. Antoine Lee's definitely one of them. Olivia Polge is... I love the style. Like I say, I've been wearing one of his creations today, the Paris Edinburgh. Tremendous. Beautiful stuff, like. I might wear Dior on tomorrow and go on an Olivia Polge kick. Anyhow, here's Rudy. Welcome. Hello, Rich. Just stopping by. Happy 4th to the Americans. Yes, happy Independence Day to you Americans. Don't worry, just because I'm British doesn't mean that I hate your independence. I am very happy for yous. Of course, the War of Independence really was just the Second British Civil War, but there we are. I'm just being mean. Oh! And anyway, it wasn't the British Civil War in the 1600s wasn't the first British Civil War by any stretch. It was like the 50th or the 100th or something silly like that. Been having civil wars since William the Bastard came over. The bastard? The bastard. Anyhow, Anuj Patel, what does it smell like? Don't tell him, Anuj, it's not allowed. He hasn't released the notes or anything yet. It's a mystery. Rudy, happy barbecue. Happy Independence Day, Rudy, says Duncan. Drawn by Senses, Rich needs a crunchy for an energy boost. Ooh. I'd do unspeakable things for a crunchy right now, I tell you. Yeah, I'd really, really go for a crunchy right now. Tremendous snack. Excellent confectionery. Exquisite. La confectionery exquise. Indeed. Kelly Lyons says, I'm a fan of Antoine Lee's Eris perfumes. Well, I don't know if you were listening earlier, but I have just ordered all of the Eris parfums line. All of them. I've tried MXXX and MX before, but I couldn't find the samples of them. And then Bry very kindly sent me some samples of Celine, which I still need to do a video on. Sorry about that, Bry. And so I'm going to do a Celine house, like, little video series, probably 2 or 3 videos. And he also sent me Scorpio Rising, which is a brilliant fragrance. Smoky black pepper, made by Antoine Lee, I believe, but it's brilliant fragrance. Really good. So I decided to just get a sample of each of them from that Sans Unique. So happy days. Sans Unique again. If you want to buy from anything from Sans Unique, they have a discount code at the minute, Summer22. And it's 15% on everything, apart from samples, which I found out the hard way. And then if you spend over a certain amount of money, they'll ship them to you free as well. And they've got worldwide shipping. So you can get Eris parfums from them. Not sponsored at all. I'm a fan of... I've read that. Sorry. Spy and Mash says, Chanel have probably got the pick of the crop when it comes to ingredients to coincide with perfumers. Yeah, they're in a proper sweet spot, aren't they? Like, they've got the perfumer, and then they've got They've got the perfumer and then they've got the ingredients as well because they're vertically integrated. And like the company's vertically integrated, which means they do everything in-house. I don't know why they just don't say that, but there we are. So they've got their own fields where they grow their own iris and rose and jasmine, and they've got so they don't use like IFF stuff. They don't use Givaudan stuff. Everything's in-house. And Christopher Sheldrake is master of ingredients. And he also dabbles in a bit of blending as well. Like Coromandel. That was Christopher Sheldrake. If you've ever smelled Borneo 1834 by Serge Luton, you know that Coromandel is just Christopher Sheldrake, like, based perfume. Anyhow, Eugene says, happy 4th. Rudy, don't blow anything up today. Rudy, mind those fireworks. Wants to watch that Roman candle. I always used to think Roman candles would like come off whatever it is that holds Roman candles, and then they would just like start rolling around, like rolling like a wheel into people. Maybe just my imagination. Pradeep says the Eau Noir is the same color as Bois d'Argent now. No more pickle juice. Yeah, fuck that. I want me green juice. Chernobyl juice. Never mind pickle juice. It's got that sort of like radioactive, like green glow. But I'm well stocked on Eau Noir, aren't I, Bobby? Wes came in here before and then disappeared. How's Alan? Is he all right? He's going to pick up CK Romance for Men just to see what Antoine Lee's earlier work is like. Hey, that's not a bad shout. Kelly Lyons says, oh, I'll be interested to hear your reviews. No, I logged in late. Lego East, welcome. How are you? Hi, Rich in chat. Sent of the Day VU by Ted Lapidus. Recent find at an auction house. Well, two of my favorite things. Fragrances and auctions. Rich Eris Marbate. Yes, I'm really looking forward to that. That's meant to be that is meant to be really good, that one, actually. Michael Harness, welcome, Mr. Harness. Happy Independence Day. Rudy says, I'll try not to blow anything up, Eugene. Can't promise anything. Fosco's here. Welcome, Fosco. Quack. What fragrance are you wearing today, Fosco, mate? Pradeep says, please report back. No, Bob says, Pradeep, please report back with an assessment of those three when they intro, sir. Fosco, happy red, white, and blue. Red wine and blue. Arnold, welcome, Arnold. How are you? Hi, everyone. Scent of the day, Tam Dow EDT. See, I've got the EDP. I thought the EDP suited the fragrance better. I can't remember what the EDT is like. Might just be a little brighter. Oh, goodness me, my back is made of straw. Michael Harness, Oxo, to Bob. Pradeep says to Bobby, some influencer has already put it online for half the price. We'll buy it if she agrees for a good price. Do we know which influencer it is? Bob says, let go of my ego east. Scent of the day, Sunshine Man. Nice. I think I like Sunshine Man. That's the blue bottle with the yellow, like the yellow sun on the front of it. Like the baby blue bottle. It's got Immortelle in it. It's quite creamy. Happy 4th, Bobby, says Fosco. Kelly Lyon says, I'm heading to Paris in a couple of weeks. Nice. Are there any Paris exclusives I need to check out, or is that a thing anymore? You could go to Dior and ask them to get out their hidden privés if you want. Guerlain might have some Paris exclusives. It's worth going to the Guerlain boutique anyway. Richie G went there, said it was like a religious experience, like. Scent of the day. Scent of the day says Fosco Reflection 45. That's meant to be really expensive. I think I saw a video about that the other day. Someone was saying it was like crazy money. Bob, what's going on with that mango tree? Yes, Bob, what are you doing to that mango tree? Michael John says, on a side note, Joey Chestnut won today 63 hot dogs. I don't know what that means. Did somebody eat 63 hot dogs? That is not going to end well, because hot dogs are not food. I don't know what hot dogs are, but they aren't food. Rudy, Mr. Harness, says Anush. This is a good time for me to dehydrate. I'll be back. I'm going to the bathroom. Don't leave, for God's sake. Stay where you are. I won't be long. Ooh. Jesus, I did that thing where you get on the toilet and start watching fucking videos and shit. No, man, totally forgot I was in the middle of a fucking live stream, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. That was dumb. Excuse me whilst I take my tablet. For I am not a well man. I don't know if I told you this, but I bit me cheek the other day. God almighty, is there a pain worse? It's like a self-inflicted wound. Like, I was at the dentist's today and she was like, oh, what happened here? And I was like, oh, I bit my cheek when was I chewing gum? Or was I eating? But I did squeal. Essentially squealed anyway. I was like, ow! It was like as manly as I could, but at the same time, it was essentially a squeal. Delicious. Let's have a look, shall we? How many people have left? None. Thanks. Whoops. Oh, yes, I did see somebody describe hot dogs as mystery meat, which I can't help but feel is very kind. Another cheap, mystery meat is very kind to hot dogs. Hot dogs are while they may be gloriously tasty, they are incredibly bad. Whatever it is that they are made of, it cannot be good. Can only be ill. Anyway, 63 pork missiles. Sorry, I'm banging to that kind of rubbish. Like, it's a silly kind of humor like that. Pork missiles. Hot dogs and Velveeta cheese, not food, but we love them nonetheless. Yeah, that's pretty much yeah. That is pretty much the case, isn't it? I'd rather eat like plasterboard. Probably got more like nutritional value. Starting to overripen and drop like stones, says Bob. By the way, the lady I've been seeing asked me not to wear cologne as we were on a hike. Take it you aren't seeing her anymore, though. Not after saying that, Bob. Bloody hell. Is Rich having a secret crunchy? If I was having a crunchy, mate, I'd let you know. Are you sure she's the girl for you, Bob? Yeah. Don't pay full price, but it's nice. I don't like the original very much, says Fosco. It's over, says Bob. Not surprised. She's only got herself to blame. Who the hell does she think she is? Mystery meat. A well-known game in dark rooms at gay clubs, so I've heard, says Spy and Mash, so he's heard. Bob is playing no games. Lego East says to Bob, put on some HD. Histoire de Parfum 1740, she'll change her mind. Alan Hansen, welcome. Was just asking whereabouts you were. Afternoon, everybody, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Evening here, actually. You wouldn't think it to look outside. It's like 10:15. Hold on a second, I'll show you. Oh, you can't see? I've just realised my screen's frozen, so you can't see. Oh, well. Scent of the day, Oud Armour by Abercrombie and Fitch. The only perfume I have with a floral note of hortensia. Beautiful. I've genuinely never heard of that before in my entire life. No idea, mate. Completely baffled by that one. Hortensia, what is it? She gave me a wonderful parfum from a small floral perfumery in France called Fragonard. Fragonard's ancient. Fragonard and Molinard. I'm sure they go well back. I know Molinard goes well back. Fragonard's not like an unheard of brand. I've definitely heard of Fragonard. I think Richie G's got a couple of Fragonards now I mention it. Good evening, Manly Sense. How are you, Squire? How's Malta? Sorry if I've just outed where you live there. Ooh. I've dropped a bollock there. Apologies, mate. Spaced out. Mitch, did you try Jevois private label? So, there may be a little bit of confusion over that Jevois sample set. So, Jevois make fragrances, but they are primarily a fragrance like shop. They sell Parfum and Roma, they sell MDCI, They sell Atelier des Ors. They sell lots of different um, lots of different niche fragrances, but they also make their own. When I got this Jovois sample set, what I should have said was, I bought samples from Jovois. I didn't actually get any Jovois samples. I have smelled Psychedelic, Incident Diplomatic, 21 Conduit Street, and Private Label, but I can't remember. I remember Psychedelic smells of just like a patchouli vanilla sort of thing. People go crazy for it, but it's not that great. You know, it's not that great. It's good. It's nice. It's pleasant. Eugene got a compliment on it, but it's not like amazing, you know. Manly Scent says Scent of the Night, Loewe Pour Homme. Yes, green juice version from the mid 2010s. Do you know I've got like 2 or 3 different versions of that stuff? I've got one from the late 90s. I've got one from maybe the late 80s, early 90s, and I've got one from the 70s, the original Para Ombra. You know, Pour Homme in Spanish. And I'm telling you now, people say the citrus notes in perfumes go, not that one. That shit is fresh as a daisy. It's beautiful. Seriously good stuff. The version I've got from the 2000s or the 90s is very harsh lavender, lemon, sort of beautiful in the heat mind, and the performance is massive. But it's not as complex or as good as the older versions, I've got to be frank. Lego East says, know what you mean, Rich. I was in Edinburgh for work last week, only 3 hours of darkness. Outrageous. Yeah, it's like outside. I go outside and read my newspaper. It's starting to the sky's starting to turn red a bit. So the sun's getting lower in the sky. I wish I could take you through to the front because my house is like south facing. No, my bedroom is south facing, I beg your pardon. And at the front of the house is like north and northwest facing. So you get the sunsets, and it's like up on top of a hill as well. It's overlooking a valley, so you get the picture that's like used as the thumbnail. It's like the view from the front of the house. You know, pretty great. Like, Malta is hot, says Manly Sense. 35 Celsius in the shade at New. Good Lord. That is big heat, that, mate. Huge heat. I couldn't hack that, like. I'd be dying. I'd be wilting in that kind of heat, like. 95 Fahrenheit in the shade would be like Phoenix or Vegas. You're going to have to come at us with Celsius there, mate. Hortensia, otherwise known as Hydrangea. Taylor Swift's perfume, apparently. Yeah. I thought she wore Oud Wood by Tom Ford. That's what I'd heard. I definitely heard that. She was wearing Oud Wood by Tom Ford. I remember telling one of my friends that, and she was like, why the hell would Taylor Swift wear Oud Wood? She was like, Taylor Swift's like young and pretty. Why would she wear Oud Wood? I was like, ooh, harsh. You don't have to be wearing florals. You can wear smoky, dry, woody kind of things if you want. I prefer Noir Anthracite. You know Tom Ford's Noir Anthracite. I prefer that to Oud Wood. I think that Noir Anthracite's like a better version of Oud, Wood, if I'm being perfectly honest. Don't know what's happening with Tom Ford as a brand. They've released some pretty fucking pretty average stuff like for a few years now. You know, Tom Ford used to set the fucking pace, like, but he's not doing it anymore. $35. Is it 35? Is it 95 equates to 35? That is double heat, that man. Ramsey obviously lives in like Texas, and he's like sometimes he'd be like, oh, like the heat's like in the hundreds now. It's like 103, 104. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I'm thinking it means like, I don't know, like 30 Celsius. Turns out it's like 37, 38. And I'm like, what? Keep that heat all you like. That heat is not for me. I'd rather live near a polar ice cap. Well, essentially, I do live near a polar ice cap. That is crazy warmth. I can't be dealing with that shit. What have I got? You were wearing Edinburgh, or you sprayed Edinburgh? I did. I am wearing Edinburgh. Manly Sense says, Kellen told me anthracite smells like wet concrete. Is it close to Narciso Rodriguez for men? No. I sort of get what he means. It's got an almost caustic anthracite. Imagine, do you know what anthracite is? It's a type of coal. All right. It's got that sort of desiccated, dry, smoky wood, but it's not dry, smoky amber wood. And it's not that sort of like all too common sort of thing that I'd have to go and dig it out. Like, it's in my bureau somewhere. Yeah, I'd have to go and find it, like, to be honest, to remind myself of it. But it's got this sort of, it doesn't drone, which is what amber woods tend to do. You know, dark smoky ambers, dark smoky woods. It's a dark smoky wood, but it doesn't smell like those synthetics that are bemoan all the time. You know, it's it's smoky, it's dry, it's woody, but it's not a dry, smoky, woody like synthetic sort of thing. It's built more. Um, it's really good actually. It feels like more of an accord than it does. It feels like more of an accord than it does like one note, which is where the moon falls down. In my opinion, the moon gets to a point where it's just one note at the end, sort of the same way that Sultan Vetiver does. Not to worry. Spaced Out says, I love Tuscan leather and tobacco veneer, but changed my mind on them. Just too loud for the sake of them being loud. I enjoy Oud Wood and Noir de Noir. I really like Noir de Noir. I'm going to end up buying a bottle of Noir de Noir. And I could kick myself. But it really is a fantastic fragrance, that chocolate and roses. You know what I mean? You can't. Do you know, today, very strangely enough, I bought some artisan chocolate. It's just a little square, about like an inch, 2 inches by 2 inches. And it was dark chocolate, rose, and raspberry, and it was immense. It was immense. Truly fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to be careful I don't go back and buy loads more. Because I could. It's bloody lovely stuff. Like the Noir de Noir sort of smells how that tasted. It's roses and chocolate. Rachel, welcome. How are you? Bob says, well, Richard, sometimes you cannot choose the lack of heat. Have you seen Lawrence of Arabia? No, I haven't. Duncan says, I still think Noir Original is best. There are a lot of people who would say that as well. George Fragrance Apprentice, he made a video. He stated this a few times. I actually like Noir Extreme. That's a fantastic fragrance, I think. Really good stuff. But I like the Noir as well. The Noir's really good. Rachel says, scent of the day. Well, so far, Tuberose Absolute after I spilled some all over me, trying to dilute a bit for materials class, lol. Smells good. Oof. Not for me, Tuberose. I really like that Nuita Bakelite, I should say. Nuita Bakelite by Naomi Good, so that's really nice, but excuse me. I'm really scared that I'm going to wear that one day and the white floral's just going to burst out from nowhere and slap me around, leave us in a fucking heap on the floor crying. Pradeep says, buy the Dawn and complete the Desert Gems collection. No. I shall do nothing of the sort. I'm not a fan of the Dawn. I think it's very plain. I still really like Promise. Like, I love that outrageous apple note. Like, Eugene hates it. But I also like the dry down of it as well. Like the Cypriol, not Nagamotha sort of thing. What time is it? How long have we got left? I'll do another 10 minutes and then I'll bail. Because it is nearly 10 o'clock. It's still late outside. Lawrence of Arabia was good, says Manly Sense. Obviously brilliant for its time. In general, not many World War One movies out there. I mean, the problem with World War One movies is that there was a lot of sitting around getting killed. They did that one about the war horse, which was all well and good. And obviously a lot of animals died in World War One, but it was like that was the war where cavalry ended and tanks began. And I just don't think there's not enough action in World War One, in that there's not enough moving around. There's a lot of stalemate and a lot of attrition. It's not like World War Two, where there was like blitzkrieg, where there was like fast action, a lot of move, and a lot of like tactics had moved on. It was everybody was dug in the First World War. Must have been hell to serve in. I was watching a thing about the Canadians at Vimy Ridge actually the other day. Absolutely immense. Absolutely immense. The Canadians at Vimy Ridge, bless them. Baffles me, like people coming over from the far side of the world to fight a war on another continent for something that they don't fucking really know much about, just because they're friends with people. I don't know. The chat is picked up. Also tried Tabaroman's Melusine. Sorry. What? Also tried Tabarum Melusine today. Yeah, I've got a bottle of that. Underrated gem. Yeah, I've got an older bottle of that. It's quite good. Rachel bought another small haul from Anouge this morning. Exciting. What did you get, Rachel? Shiva Marine says, my mother came for a visit and a bourbon. and bourbon. She saw my fragrance budding collection along with the birthday haul I'm compiling. She said I must be very bored or simply mental. Could be a bit of both. Hi. Congratulations, Rachel. Shiva, lol. Jin. Welcome, Jin. How are you? I hope you are well. I haven't seen you before. You are welcome to this channel and this chat. Please tell us what fragrance you are wearing today. Blackadder was a good World War I series. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the ending was brilliant as well. Emperor. Pradeep says Emperor. Yes. Let the Mal oud flow through you. Love Anuj, says Michael Harness. Yes, we love Anuj. Thank you. It includes grey flannel, so I'm chuffed, eh? You're getting that grey flannel that he's got. Never show your collections to the normals. Yes, that's right, Bob. Ah, Ramsey is here. Thank God. Welcome, Ram. Yes, Anuj the best. Shiva, Ram, Eugene. Normies just don't understand, do they? Says Michael. No, they don't. Hi, Eugene. Rachel, says Anuj. Jin, I'm very well, thanks. Well, I'm glad you're very well. The bubbles are frozen. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, Duncan. That is, you couldn't be more right. The bubbles are most certainly frozen, and they have been for the majority of the stream, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's not to worry, though. We don't necessarily have to watch the stream. It's more of a radio broadcast. That's what I like to think of it. And whether it is or not, it's another matter, but you know what I mean. I also ended up getting a Galanos bottle. What's that? Bobby O, I remember one of your videos where you were opening drawers, cupboards, shelves, and bottles falling out of everywhere. Hi, Rachel. Michael, says Eugene. Hi, Eugene. Hi, Anuj. Hi, many friends. Legoise says, Bobby, is that the vintage Emily? Visited the Fragonard factory on a trip around France a few years ago. Emily reminded me of vintage YSL Paris. Bob says, keep the Independence Day stream going. New people showing up 45 minutes. No, I'm not staying around much longer. The yawns will be huge by that point. Ah. Oh, hi, Ram, says Michael Harness. Hi, Ram. How are you? Keep the independent stream going. I will not. Ramsey, hope you had a great trip, buddy. He sent us some of the pictures. Like, it looked great. How long have I been on? Oh, another minute and a half, and then I'm off. Quickly, if you've got anything to say it. Galanos by Galanos. Sorry. Galanos by Galanos, a 1979 frag for women. Spicy amber that many people say is really a sheep. Carnation, oat moss, cypress, clove, etc. Michael Harness says it must be late night, early morning. It's just gone 10 o'clock at night here. And it's still bright light. Like the blue sky, you know? Oh, I'm wearing some good socks. Anuj, my bad for not giving you my choices yet, says Shiva. I have a house full of visitors and I simply forgot. By nightfall, I will send you my choices. Thank you again. It's 2 p.m. Michael Harness must live on the west coast of America. Indeed, he does. F for Francois Demarchis. Oh no. You won't get an F from me for him. Nothing better than good wool socks. Michael Harness, Mr. Harness, sent me good wool socks. Exceptional wool socks. Michael Harness, you live in the same state as Thomas and Galen. Bob says, please name off all your Serge Lutons. No, I know what you're trying to do, Bob. You're trying to get us to stay here for another hour. Daddy Knows Best is streaming about daddy dating advice. Not sure if he is a dad or dating, though. No, he's an imposter. Fuck knows what is going on with Ben, like. That was that I've watched a few of those videos. I'm worried about them, like. Yeah, no. Bless him. Shiva, nah, good old man. All good, man. Take your time. Michael Harness says, Thomas who? Early Greek. Stumptown Smells. Thomas. Dino, welcome, Squire. How are you? Hello, Rich Mitch. How has your health been lately? Well. Hope all is well with thee, mate. I'm okay. I'm all right today. I feel a lot better today than I did do over the weekend. I will tell you this tale and then I will do off. So I've started this drug called methotrexate. It is used. It's essentially fucking poison. Like, it's derived from mustard gas. But they use it in fighting like autoimmune diseases and stuff like that, like what I've got. Essentially, my immune system's just going mad and attacking me and my joints. And so they give you this stuff to like quell your immune system, you know, just like calm it down. And I've been taking the initial dose, which is 10 milligrams, for about 2 to 3 weeks. And I had an appointment with the rheumatologist nurse who said, right, you've taken the first few doses on 10, you've been okay. You're not allergic to it or anything. I was like, well, no, but it's not great. But anyway, she was like, right, I want you to put it up to 12 and a half from 10. Which is an extra tablet because they come in 2.5 milligram tablets. So I took this extra tablet on Thursday night and I woke up on Friday and I knew I felt bad, but I thought I could just push through. And so on Friday, I decided to get up and go into town, pick up something I'd won at the auction house. Then I was going to go into town and buy myself a new pair of jeans, which I did. In the process of doing this, I was all right in the car. And I was all right when I picked up the thing I won at the auction house. But when I went to buy the pants, right, I had to try them on. And I got a couple of different sizes, you know, like with the different leg length and everything like that. And Jesus Christ, I walked into this changing room and I was okay. And I walked out and I thought I was dying. Just the act of changing my pants 3 or 4 times absolutely killed us. I was ill. And in my infinite wisdom, I thought to myself, I know what I'll do. I'll go and get something to eat. Even though I felt sick as a dog, I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll go and get something to eat. And what did I decide to eat, even though I was feeling sick? That's right. I went and got myself a Five Guys with grilled onions and cheese. And it took me about 12, like I'm a big unit, you know. I'm not quite Daddy Knows Best, but I can eat. And that took me about 20 minutes to eat this burger. Like, I was struggling with this burger. And then I was like, when I was eating this burger, I got to the point where I was like, Christ, I need to go home or I'm going to like something's going to happen. I'm having an episode in town. And I was like, good Lord. And I was like, get me home now. And I had to walk from the bottom of this, it's called Northumberland Street, to the top. right? I might as well have been walking up bloody Everest. I was like, I could have, like, I could have, like, seriously, like, I was like, bloody hell, I'm gonna have to get on my hands and knees here. You know what I mean? I was dying. I was dying. I was like, and all the time as well, I was sitting saying to myself, you fucking Burke. I was like, you tit. Why did you think this was a good idea? And then, of course, I took a shortcut through the department store fragrance department where all of the people knew us, right? Where all the people knew us. And just on this one day, every single one of the members of staff wanted to talk to us. Oh my God. I was like, why have I done this? And so I managed to get through the department, which took another 10 to 15 minutes. And I was like, look, I'm just going to keel out here. Like, managed to get into the lift. I'm like, I'm really struggling at this point. Got back to the car. Honestly, I've never been so pleased to sit down. I spent about 5 minutes in the car with the aircon on, just being like, God almighty. Drove myself home, clambered up the stairs, just got into me pit. And I was like, right, I'm not leaving me bed. Took us another couple of days. Took us another couple of days to sort myself out. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday were just minging. And I woke up this morning, I felt a bit better. Like, but yes, that was the story of how my sorry, Dino, I know you weren't expecting that when you asked us that question, but I thought I would just tell you that tale of, frankly, stupidity on my behalf. I should have just stayed in bed, like. But yes, that was insanity. God almighty. This coming Friday, I shall not be doing anything of the sort. I'm not even sure I'll go downstairs. But I was rotten, like. Anyhow, I'll finish off these comments and then I will bill this time. Sorry to regale you with this tale, but there we are. What do you think of Cyprus as a note? It's all right. It's all right, Rachel. It's all right. Michael Harness says, I wish you well, Sir Duck. Thank you. Thinking about you. Nothing worse than constant pain just makes you cranky. Yeah, I'm cranky anyway, so nobody's noticed that much of a difference, to be honest. But thank you, Michael Harness. You are very kind. Ramsey says they have 5 guys in the UK. Did not know that. Yes, they do. And even as far north as where I live, usually what they do is they put them in London, because that's like the big city where like all that sort of thing goes on. But no, they're even up where I live now. It was a very nice burger, you know. Under normal circumstances, would have been gone in like 5 minutes, if that. But I very much took my time, and towards the end of it, I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm not getting through this. What did help though, and what was brilliant, was the Five Guys £5 milkshake. Strawberry milkshake from Five Guys. Sensational. Absolutely delightful. Highly recommend it, although it is expensive. Vintage Five Guys. The chips are fucking gorgeous as well, to be fair. To your credit, Five Guys is a pretty great burger. I don't know how many other burgers would have gone down and stayed down at that point, you know. There was I was playing a risky game, like. I was playing a risky game. I shan't be doing that this Friday. This Friday is dedicated to rest. Big unit, that's right. So the thing with me is, I think the difference between me and Ben is, from Daddy Knows Best, I think Ben might be short, whereas I'm quite tall. I'm like 6'2", and I'm quite built as well. So the extra weight I've got on is like, I don't look as like big as I am. I don't look as heavy as I am. Whereas I think Ben's like I'm more rectangle shaped. He's more sort of square shaped. You know, bless him. You know he's trying to get on that fucking Kevin Samuels train. Trying to just change his channel into that sort of thing, but no one's gonna go for it when this. Oh, fucking, I don't want to say it, like, but I mean, Kevin Samuels was put together and like not a bad looking dude, and Ben. Anyway, I'm really glad you're okay now. Thank you, Rachel. Spy and Mash. Wendy's is making a comeback in the UK. I used to love their banana milkshake. Yeah, they're coming back. That's right. I think me and Ramsey were talking about this the other day. They're opening like 400 like stores, aren't they? It's a lot of stores. It's 400. Did you get a nice refreshing beverage to wash it down with? Yes. Did you? Did I break your concentration? I did get a tasty beverage to wash it down. It was the Five Guys milkshake, which was stunning. Even if it was a $5 milkshake, a £5 milkshake, I beg your pardon. Scandalous for a milkshake, that, you know. There's a place over here called Shakeaholic, which makes just like straight up, just like they'll just put anything in a milkshake for you. But I like their banana milkshakes as well. I do like a banana milkshake, and like a milkshake with banana in it. Fabulous. Wendy's makes best fries. I look forward to trying them. All good, mate. It's cathartic, my friend. Thank you, Dino, for listening to that. Hanging out on the live is always the better choice. Yeah. I couldn't do it. I couldn't think. Like my mind went. It wasn't just my body. It was like my mind went. I don't think I could do a live on a Friday when I felt like that. When I did my, I forced myself to do a video at some point over that. Like, I think it was on the Saturday, or even the fragrance rotation. I think on the Sunday, I managed to just like push through it. Oh, it's crazy. The best way I can describe how it feels to you is, right. Do you know when you do something where you exert yourself a little bit, like, I don't know, like jogging up the stairs, and you get to the top of the stairs, and it's like, well, you've worked your legs, and you know that like your heart rate's increased a little bit, and you take a few steps and you carry on, and you recover. On this medication, that recovery just doesn't happen. So if you exert yourself, such as like putting your pants on, like a few times, trying on some pants, right? The recovery just doesn't occur at all. So it's like your bar, like imagine if it was like a video game and you've got your health bar, like your stamina bar and your health bar just go down. They don't go back up. It's crazy. And I thought getting something to eat would help us and sort us out, but no. I've seen Five Guys inside Westfields. Where's that? Cheers, Chad. Don't like Cyprus. Isn't it turpentine-ish? Could be. Terps. The thing with terps is that you can get it from almost all like wood. You know, like pine, especially pine, right? Like not pine needles and not pine resin, but pine wood can become very turpentine-ish because I think that you can extract it from that, like pine oil is like that's where you heard it, son, to pine oil heaven. Remember that from our training day. What a film that is. Anyhow. Stay well, Rich. Thank you, Duncan. Cheers. Don't what is Daddy Knows Best channel? It used to be Centaur Fragrances. Ben, bless him. Yeah, H2O, that's my impression too. It's called Daddy Dating Advice now. Oh no. Ben, man, you've never been on a date in your life, man. Shut up. Don't love Chanel and Vogue. Love Paris. Paris is like the rosy one, isn't it? I thought it was a little bit floral for me. It was a little bit feminine floral. Spy and Mash says, I've seen a bottle of Pinot Silvestre in your collection, Bobby O. Bob. Paris says, Bob. S&M, where is our whack pack Pinot Silver lover these days? Yeah, where is he? Edinburgh's outstanding. Yeah, I agree with that, Bri, actually. Perfume Unplugged stream tonight, says Bob. I don't know, Eugene might stream tonight. Hate buying jeans, says Nonsensical. Always forget to see if they are comfy sitting down. Yes, I did make sure they were comfy sitting down, thank God. I've made that mistake before as well. These ones have got a little bit of elastic in them, which is just, tremendous. You know, just a little bit elasticated. Beautiful. Bought a new belt as well. 45 quid that was, by the way. 45 quid for a belt. I looked the woman square in the eye. I said, this one's to last. You know, I need to get in touch with a cobbler or something to put some extra holes in my belt. I may or may not have shifted a bit of beef. The Westfield shopping malls in London have Five Guys. There's a Five Guys in Gateshead, the Metro Centre, which is like a big shopping mall around here, which is where that new Harrods Butte opened. And there is also a Five Guys in Newcastle, the city where I live, or near where I live anyway, the local big city. Trees, Please from Living Libations in Canada is a great pine fragrance. Usually what you get from pine fragrance isn't like the wood. It's usually the resin, which is a little bit sweet and nice. So like Fila Nagil, you know, I've got 3 bottles of Fila Nagil now. Like that gives us a warm feeling that I can like actually use that fragrance and not worry. But I've also got Arso by Perfumer Roma, which is, it's not the same fragrance, but it definitely, there's overlap there. Is it a clone? I don't think it is a clone, but it's got similarities of like that pine resiny sort of thing. I think also might be a bit smokier, which I like. Feeling our gills more, you can tell it's a surge. Did you delete Naked HD? She is a duck lover. Never heard of it. I will try Five Guys. We also have a Johnny Rockets. I'm sure the old Pinot Silvestre wasn't as bad as the ones you get today, says Spy and Mash. Yeah, it has to be quite good. Yeah. Too often the pine resin overpowers everything else to me. The exceptions are among my faves. Yeah. I do like a good pine fragrance, I must admit, but it's sort of like Amber Sultan. Once you've got like Fila Nagil, the prices for Fila Nagil, you know. I don't know what it is about that fragrance, but the prices people want for that on the internet are fucking mad. There was a girl who I bought my last bottle off. I say a girl, a lady, a woman. Sure, it wasn't like a girl, you know what I mean? I'm getting tucked up for 300 quid by a fucking like 8-year-old girl on eBay. She wanted £300 for it because I watched this fragrance for ages, and she wanted 300 quid. And then she dropped the price to 280, 260, 240. And I got in touch with her and I bid her 160 quid. And she was like, look, no. And I was like, look, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, right? I was like, you're not getting 300 quid. I was like, I've been watching this since you first listed it at like 300, 350. Because I think it was more than 300 before that. And I was like, I've seen you, I've watched you dropping the price. I was like, look, I will buy it off you like right now. And she was like, right, give us like 200, 220. I was like, I'll give you 180. And she was like, yeah, all right, then go on. I didn't want to ask her what she'd paid for it, but she blatantly paid less than 100 quid for it. You know what I mean? It's like the prices on that fragrance. I don't know why Fila Nagil's that like goes for that much money though. Like, why Fila Nagil? Like, you never hear anybody talking about it on YouTube. You never hear anybody like. There's no like major hype. I mean, I know YouTube isn't the entire fragrance like landscape. You know what I mean? But why? Why is Fila Nagil in particular that much of like an explosive like increase in price? It's bonkers. Too often that pine resin overpowers everything else. To me, the exceptions are all my favorites. Essenzia has some lovely pine in it. That's true as well. Essenzia is a really nice fragrance. I might wear that tomorrow. It was looking at us today. Duncan says, Rich, just heat the tip of a Phillips screwdriver on the stove. Make your own hole in the belt. Outrageous. You know what else I thought about using? Do you know, this is so stupid. Do you know, hole punchers for like paper? I thought, you know, you get like a particularly sturdy one of those, and just put a fucking hole straight through it. Why not? It should work. I can imagine it not working, but if you got like a proper one of those, like a good quality one, you should be able to do that, surely. But like, I imagine a cobbler would do it for a couple of quid. Like, I'll go to Timpson's. I like Timpson's as a company. It's a company in this country that does like the cobblers, but they also do like key cutting and like all that kind of shenanigans. But the shtick of the company is that they like are more than willing to hire people who have like just left prison. So you get a lot of ex-cons working in there. And since they're known for doing that, they never have any hassle. Like, the people who work there for life. They've got a really loyal workforce, and they've like all the people are proper spot on. Like, I imagine they don't take on like uber violent and like serious criminals, you know, just like people who have been into jail for like not paying their TV license or fucking like maybe getting in a fight in the street or something like that, you know. But I support Timpson's because I like that kind of shit, if I'm being honest. I tried also, says Duncan, but I didn't like how sweet it went in the dry down. Yeah, I think that Fila Nagil avoids that because I think it's better blended, frankly. But I do like the smokiness at like the beginning of Arso. Manly Sense says, I have a 1990 splash of Pinot Silvestre Classic. Not as synthetic as the current. I quite like it, mostly for nostalgic reasons. Yeah. Bob says, heat up a Phillips head, eh? I'll give it a go. Outrageous. 69 in the chat. Huh. 69 in the chat. Hold on, I'll do that. Little 69. There you go. Just a little 69, though. You know, I like to give a little 69 when I can. I would love to find a rosemary fragrance. You mean just like a big rosemary fragrance? can't think of one off the top of my head. I do know a lot of fragrances that have rosemary in them. Bogart's Signature has tons of rosemary. That's right, manly scents. Rachel says Feeling Aguila is definitely among the best because it's so well balanced. Great show. Yeah. Mike V is here. Welcome, Mike V. How are you? Greetings, Rich. Greetings, Mike V. Scent of the day, Marc-Antoine Barrois, Ensalade. I swear to God, I have to proper check myself that I don't say fucking enchilada when I say that. The Ensalade. It's meant to be nice, got rhubarb sort of thing. Bad Boy Timpsons. Timpsons. Timmons. I could put the link in if you want. Not the link, the name in the chat if you want. But yes, I agree. Us bad lads, we need all the help we can get. That's correct, Mr. Harness. Like, it's a really decent thing. Like, it's like an honourable thing, you know. It's most people who fucking come out of like prisons and stuff like that, you can't just like saddle them with that for the rest of their lives. Like I say, this is somebody who's never been to prison, you know what I mean? But like, you can't just like create a class of people who have been into like jails and that's what defines them, you know? And like work's one of the best things you can do. Aram is here. Happy birthday to you, Aram. To you and America. Everybody say happy birthday to Aram. Arama. Bogart's Signature has tons of rosemary. Rosemary, you want to smell like a baked chicken? Kind of. Aramis here, 69. I'll have to try it, manly senses, Michael. Great rosemary cologne. Right, let's try this. Bravanaritz. Ramsey says, scent of the day, Mario Valentino Ocean Rain. I can safely say I have never heard of that, even slightly. Ramsey coming up with from angles. Hey, Aram, says manly sense. Scent of the day, Fleur de Mal. Sup, Doug? Sup, Aram? Hey, Ram. Michael Horner says, and a nice cucumber scent I would love. There's got to be a cucumber scent out there, surely. Hasn't there? Hang on a minute. Have you kept me around for an extra half an hour, you rascals? That's Bob. Bob with his craziness. He'll have been doing some voodoo on us or something like that. Keeping us attached to the stream. Yeah, cucumber scent. I would go with that. I imagine that's been done like 20 odd years ago, you know? Like in the early 2000s. Happy birthday, mate, says manly sense. Thank you. Thank you, Aram. Navitus is a popular line in the presidency. Oy. You know, the owner of Navitus has hundreds of thousands of subscribers, gets like 1,500 views on his videos now. It's not, I don't know. I don't want to say it's not pleasant. I wish it wasn't the way, but sort of, you make your bed, you lie in it, you know what I mean? You take 3 bottles for review and you turn into a salesman. People don't particularly want to watch adverts if they can help it. You know? Simple. It's a shame. I would always direct people to Stephen's review of Bois d'Argent and just look at the look in his eyes, look at the look on his face, and then watch his videos now. Listen to the tone of his voice. Crazy. Michael Horner says everybody deserves a second chance and sometimes a third. Yes, and it also a lot of things to do with age, you see. A lot of people who go to jail do silly things when they're in their early 20s, especially men. Especially men. Most men do silly things well into their 30s, don't we? If we're being honest. Sometimes it's not criminal. Sometimes it's just being bastards, really. I've got a friend, again, an older lady who says that men don't start growing up until they're well into their 40s. And the older I've got, the more I sort of see that, if I'm being honest. Awesome. Happy birthday, Aaron, says Bob. Happy birthday. Happy. Everyone's happy. Thank you, Rich, and everyone. Thank you, Aaron. That's the correct pronunciation. We're on the Bravarnets. Bravaranaras? Oh, God. I've completely minced it. I should never even open my mouth again. Oh, fuck me. Bravanaritz. Jesus almighty. It's Edmund Rudnitsky's final fragrance from 1990. Oh, no. Scent of the Day Golden Guide by Matthew Mellag. Do you know I've got that? A friend sent me it. It is actually quite nice. Bob says, I wondered last week how much backstock Navitus has in the warehouse. Well, he stopped pushing it as much as he did. Which makes you think maybe it was just one or two runs. You know? Happy birthday, Aram, says Anush. Aha! Here is Zhao. Yeah, buddy. I can't shout because it's like nearly 11 o'clock here. But welcome, Zhao. I hope you're well. Spy and Mash says, source full sample set of Navitus on eBay for £20. Scrolled straight past it. Yikes. You never hear anything about Ashton's brand either. And I maintain as well that I do actually like Ashton. I think Ashton's sound. But you never hear anything about that brandy store. What was it? Galleria. I bought the sample set of that. I must say there wasn't any there that like spoke to us so much that I thought I would buy them. But he doesn't push them or anything like that. So I wonder what happened. Sadly for Stephen, bots don't. Sadly for Stephen, bots don't watch videos. Yeah, well, Mr. 40 could be accused of that as well. Bob says, on the level, oh, this is serious. Is Ashton's juice much better than Stevens? I've got no idea. Haven't smelled. I've smelled all of Ashton's, but I haven't smelled all of Stevens. Mike says, Chad from A Gentleman's Journey should be put in jail for his fragrance taste. Yes. So, he likes his cheap stuff. And the reason he likes his cheap stuff is because he's tight, but like he doesn't want to spend that much money on fragrance. He wants to go for like cheaper stuff, you know. He went on a fucking huge Bond number 9 mission, and they were, God almighty, they're fucking shit. Bond number 9s are shit, and they discontinued the only good fragrance they ever made, man. New Harlem. I got a decanter of that off Greggy Boy years ago. And I remember thinking to myself, one day I'm going to buy this, but it was insanely sweet. You know, it was meant to be like a New York breakfast, you know, like pancakes and waffles and fucking maple syrup and fucking tonka bean and fucking all of that stuff. And it was good. If sweet and synthetic, but it was synthetic sweet in that like amen kind of way, you know. So it was like good, and I liked it. And then they discontinued it, and I was like, "What the fuck did they do that for?" All of their other fragrances are shit as fuck. Bonkers. Nah, says Pradeep. I see 35 as the age of maturity for most men, says Rachel. Definitely there are exceptions on both sides. Yeah, some men never grow up. Like, some grow up when they're young. I didn't pick 35. Confucius said that, though. Yeah. Manly Sensei's worst taste by far is Ross of TLTG with his hauls of $15 cheapies. Just fucking. I don't know Ross, and I've never spoken to Ross, and he's never offended me because of this. I mean, obviously, if I spoke to him, there'll be at some point he probably would offend us, but it makes you wonder, it makes you realize that a lot of these people who get a lot of free bottles, when they have to start buying fragrances themselves, that's when you find out what's going on, really. You know, you can get as many Rogers for free as you want, which makes you look like you've got great taste, or at least expensive taste. But if then you're getting them for free, and then suddenly you've got all the ones you're going to get for free, so you've got to buy your own perfumes, you then start going out and buying shit. It's gonna fall apart in the end. You know what I mean? It's gonna fall apart in the end because it's bullshit. You're bullshitting people. You know what I mean? You can't keep that up forever. You'll get caught out, especially on the internet. You know what I mean? It's like the worst thing you can do is be disingenuous on the internet. People aren't stupid. You know? I'd rather be hated for telling the truth than liked for being like a liar. You know? Thank you, Rich. Well, that's all right, Joe. How are you? I'm all right. Need to catch up on the live stream after the upload. Well, that's no problem. I hope Ms. Moments is doing well after our birthday trip. I thought you were in Ricardo's shop when I left that comment on your short the other day. I thought you were in Ricardo's shop. That's why I said I bet I know where you are, and then clearly I didn't. Do you know what I mean? I was just gonna let that one just like slide away, just so I didn't look like a fool. But yes, oh dear, love the Chadster, says Bob. Yeah, Chad's all right, man. Chad's all right. He just doesn't want to spend. He just doesn't want to do what we do. You know, he wants to be involved in like perfume and the community, and he has a passion for it. I believe. I just don't think he wants to spend the kind of money that other people do, which is, I mean, it's his money. Do you know what I mean? You spend you make your money, you spend it how you like. You know, you pays your money, you makes your choice. It's as simple as that. Cannot like goad people into spending hundreds and hundreds of fucking dollars or pounds on like fragrances that they don't want. You know, every fragrance I've ever bought, I have wanted at some point. Never bought a fragrance I didn't want. I may have regretted. There's a few purchases that I've regretted, like literally blind buys that I've regretted as soon as I fucking bought them. I've been like, oh my God, what the fuck? But at some point before that, I wanted to buy them, you know? There's some people like Jeremy and stuff like that, when he would say stuff like, I say Jeremy, his name's Daniel. When he says stuff like, "Oh, I would wear a fragrance that I hated if like everybody else loved it," and it's like, well, fuck off. You're a fucking psycho. You're nuts. You're not a psycho. No, that's wrong. Sorry. You're an idiot. Do you know what I mean? You might not be a psycho, mate, but you're a fucking fool. What do you want us to do for that? You know, there's no sort of like fucking coming back from that, really, is there? You know what I mean? It's like you you base your actions and thoughts on what everybody else thinks. It's like it shows a lack of character, frankly. It shows a lack of self-respect, self-esteem. Bollocks to that. Like, I couldn't live like that. That's you're an imposter at that point. Like, how would you rank the sample sets you bought this past year? Oh God Almighty. I'd probably have to go through them all to find them. The zoologist one was an absolute mission, and I loved it. But for quality, I'd probably go with the Lemon and then zoologist. I'm trying to think of the other ones. The Naomi Good says were right up there as well. That's a really good house. I'd have to go through all my first impressions. House of Matriarch, I found them the flatter to deceive, I think. They've got a couple of good ones, but I don't care if they're fucking 99% natural. Like, I'm not that into indie perfume. There are some people who absolutely fucking rave about it, and I've come to respect that. Not everybody wants a classic perfume that's like classically made and with like rose and patchouli and fucking like iris and fucking bergamot and all of that sort of patter. You know, some people want like fucking the rough edges and stuff like that. I appreciate that. That's fine. But I don't think indie perfumes for me, as a general rule of thumb. You know, I'm not writing it off, but I could probably count on one. I could probably count on one hand how many indie perfumes, like true indie perfume. I don't think I've got any. I made a conscious decision at the turn of the year that I would go for more niche perfumes this year. Last year was the year of the vintage, and I've still gone for vintages this year. But I made a conscious decision to branch out into niche. Marl, Frederick Marl, fucking the Naomi Good Sirs. I'd have to go and look at my fucking collection now to prompt me memory. Do you know what I mean? But I've bought a lot of niche fragrances this year, certainly compared to other years. So yeah, I'd probably have to say Les Madala is probably the best samples I've tried this year. Do you know, hold up, we are on Nabatus. We are not. Ah, you smell all of Ashton's. I have smelled all of Ashton's. There's a couple of them that are all right. They're all right, mate. They're nothing groundbreaking, though. I must admit, I was hoping for more. I was excited to get them. I'm not going to lie to you. I was excited to get them. And then I was a little bit let down. Have you tried Mr. Smelly's fragrance? Yes. Yes, I have. Not great, I won't lie. Very... It's not shit. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's shit, because it's not. I just found it very middle of the road. I thought his price point was quite good. I thought the price point of it was quite good, yeah. Because he wasn't doing some kind of batshit crazy thing like what fucking Daniel Schutz was fucking playing at with his fragrance. Why the price of my fragrance must triple? No, it doesn't. Piss off, fucking weirdo. So I thought like under 100 quid, it was like 90 quid. I thought that was pretty decent. But you're asking us about the fragrance. I wouldn't buy it. You know. RMV, Chad. Chad is so tight he squeaks when he walks. Oh my god, I'm so far behind the chat. I'm so sorry. Let's have a look. I'll try and get through this and then I will fuck off. What? How long have we been on now? Oh my God. I'll stay on until 3 hours. This is Bob with his fucking crazy magic. He cast a spell on us that makes us talk more. Ah, Wesley, you're back. You talked us into going to Five Guys and we are going to watch the new Minions movie. What is a nice fragrance for the movie theater? Ooh. I would say it depends on what movie you're going to see. Something playful with it being the Minions. You know, not something too serious. Love Gravitas and Bon Vivant from Mr. Smelly, says Mr. Harness. Great summer scents. I got a sample of AC from Smells Good. And he hasn't been making many videos recently, has he? AC. Which is a shame because he's a great reviewer. It just wasn't for me. It was like I think as well the gravitas. I should frame this by saying I don't like orange in fragrances. I know I was talking about orange sanguine earlier, but I think it's amazing how much like orange juice it smells, but I don't like orange in fragrances. Not straight up orange, and there is a straight up orange in gravitas. It's just an orange and a lavender. I think one of the things I said to Eugene when it came out, like in like a private conversation, but something I said, I just said to him like, gravitas is like a nice lavender note ruined by an orange note, and that's like my taste because I don't like orange, you know, but I do like lavender. I thought it was a nice lavender note ruined by an orange because I don't like oranges. Now, if it was tangerine, I would have liked more. For some reason, I really like tangerine. Tangerine's an M7. Tangerine's a really nice note. Orange, not for me. There are plenty of people who rate Gravitas like, haven't smelled Bon Vivant. Apparently, he's got a new one coming out as well. So, if you let, sorry, a bird just made a very strange noise outside my room. So I would have to say me I'm prejudiced a little bit against Gravitas because of my dislike of the orange. But it's not something I'm gonna buy. I haven't smelled Bon Vivant, so I can't comment. Like, I think he's got a new one coming out soon as well, which I've also already said. Great summer scent, says Michael. Would rather review clones than the popular designers. Ashton on full on business mode. He knows pushing his stuff will lose him viewers. He's got another channel now, Ashton, you know. It's called Extra Gent Sense, where he talks about like other stuff. I was like, are you going to talk about vintage on this channel? He was like, yeah, I'm probably going to talk about some vintage on here because I know that's what Ashton's like into. Ashton loves these vintage fragrances and he's discontinued fragrances. He's got that sort of similar sort of drive. Like Mr. Smelly's like that as well. Mr. Smelly likes his vintage and discontinued fragrances. But they don't talk about them enough because, see, I would prefer somebody to talk about the stuff that they liked rather than what they thought was going to do best for the channel. But some people take their channels much more seriously than what I like. I take my channel seriously and I take my viewers seriously, but I would rather surround myself with like-minded people, like essentially like everyone who's in here now. So we could all talk about things that we had in common rather than trying to spread my net as wide and try and like give the people what they want. I would rather attract like-minded people who we don't all have to think the same and have the same taste, but like we've got like things in common, you know? I don't want to like dilute myself so that it's more palatable to everybody, but you've got to respect the fact that some people, that's exactly what they want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's just not what I would do. Great summer, I've read that. Classic. What do you think of Rahat Lakoum? I've smelled it, but I can't remember it. Try Gravitas, not bad. I would probably go as far as to say is like, yeah. Like, I don't think it's great, but it's not bad. I like the sound of Gravitas, Aaron. I'll try it. The best thing to do with every fragrance, try it yourself. I could sit here and tell you which fragrance have I said shite. I mean, most of them, to be fair. Just imagine I've called a fragrance shite, right? The best thing you could possibly do is to then go and smell that fragrance and make your own mind up. You know? Do you know you might fucking love it? I couldn't say no. Big Beard Navitus is shite. I've absolutely no idea. I've never been subscribed to him. Apparently he set up another channel talking about something to do with like financial advice and shit like that. So I'm not taking fucking financial advice or fucking like a fucking YouTube fragrance review. I behave. Well, not one that I don't know anyway. When are we going to get Duck Pour On? If I was going to make a fragrance, which I'm not going to fucking do, I Quack Pour On. I would go the way Eugene would do it, but I know the fucking the sheer ball ache that Eugene's had and is still having with his fragrance. And like the cost and the mental fucking aspect of having to fucking sort out fucking like your fragrance, you know, and do it properly. Because Eugene, the way Eugene's done it is the way I would like to do it. I would like to go not exactly the same, obviously, but I wouldn't do it where some other fucker funded it or like a Kickstarter or something like that. I've got to be honest, I would like to do it the same way that he's done it. But at the same time, I've seen it and it's just like, what? Like I've like been like close enough to Eugene during the whole process to see like the toll. Do you know what I mean? Like just like the early mornings, the late evenings, the trying to find shit out, the having to trust people, the all of that sort of thing. I would like to see Rich Mitch do a Jeremy Clapton spin. Honestly, I would have to do that under like fucking like hospital settings. Like, you know, I would have to be like have like emergency like fucking ambulances on fucking standby. Dino Baggio. I'm surprised Eugene knows who Dino Baggio is. Not our Dino Baggio. Everybody knows who our Dino Baggio is, but the footballer. Outrageous. Dino says, I've been getting into watches lately. Oh, bloody hell. Trying not to get too much into that rabbit hole. My fragrance is enough on its own. It's, mate, do you know what it is? It's really fucking strange. I think unless you're Greggy boy, I think fragrances or watches. I don't think you can do both, unless of course you've got more money than like God. You know, it's not a cheap hobby. Like fragrances aren't a cheap hobby, but fucking watches, Jesus, you're paying a lot of money. Ah, lol, says Joe. And I said, all proud and mis-scented. Oh, Rich already guessed where I am. And she asked, who? And I presented you in the Yibity calm again. Who? Oh, dear. Parfum d'Empire. Parfum d'Empire did a fragrance called Iskander, and it was fucking appalling. But apparently they do lots of other fragrances which aren't appalling. Honey Badger from Zoologist is my favorite. Have I smelled Honey Badger? Ah. Dino Baggio is a nickname. It's my uncle called me after a footballer, but I spell it differently. Aye, that's right. Dino Baggio, brother of Roberto. Oh, they were related somehow, weren't they? I don't know if they were brothers, but Dino Baggio wasn't a bad player in the slightest. Like, he was a very good player. He was a central defender. He was a central midfielder. And then Roberto was like a fucking striker, come attacking midfielder. What a player he was. Yeah, but Dino Baggio. Not tried any zoologist. Honestly, Dino, mate, you don't know what you're missing out on. Really worth, like, if you've got £100 and you're not looking to spend it all on one fragrance, the sample set, you could do a lot worse, though. I really enjoyed going through that sample set. When I went to buy the Moon and the Night, I actually took the zoologist sample set and sat for 2.5 hours with the sales associate and another sales associate who I'm friends with now. And we sat for a couple hours and just went through the whole of the zoologist because I'd mentioned to them I got the sample set and they were like, oh, I was really interested to try them. I was like, marvelous. We'll make a morning of it. And that's what we did. Oof. Eugene, yeah, buddy. That's a good New Year resolution, man, was to take it easy with backup bottles as I got a bit crazy last year. Yeah, you and me both, mate. I photographed Dino Baggio versus Ireland in the 92 World Cup, in the 92 Cup, 94. What a match. Yes, Ireland turned them over, didn't they? And then Italy got to the final. And Roberto Baggio put his fucking, I think his penalty's still in orbit, like. Picked up Amouage's Opus Library Collection sample set recently. Anyone got any favourites? Is that the Opus? All the different Opus ones? Apparently they're releasing a tobacco one. I'm curious too, Spy and Matt. You have any fave from your Amouage set? Maybe I'll get an Amouage sample set. I'm not getting that fucking Atar one though. Jesus, the fucking pain. Manly, I agree, says Aram. I don't know if I'll ever get done with one bottle. Only backups are for ones I can't live without. Jesus, I've got so many backup bottles, it's outrageous. Spy. Opus 6 is good. Must have all for Fraghead 6. Paco and Koros, yes, and Egoist. Yeah, I've got a few backups of Egoist too. Roberto Baggio, even he scored an amazing solo run goal against the Czechs. It was a really good World Cup that I remember, like Bulgaria and Romania. Hristo Stoichkov up front for Bulgaria, and Romania with Georgi Hadji. It was the World Cup of number 10s, that, because Romario was absolutely incredible for Brazil as well. Hristo Stoichkov, what a player he was. Bobby Robson took him to Barcelona. He also took Ronaldo to Barcelona as well. They weren't bad. Aram has 5 litres of Vintage Paco. Well, I mean, you could do worse. Rich Mitch, what was the last film did you see? Do you know, it's been such a long time since I've watched an entire film. What was it? So, it wasn't the first time I've seen this film, but it was the last time I watched a film. And it's called Withnail and I. Withnail and I. It's a British comedy thing. The fucking production values. There are better production values on fucking YouTube now. It's a shitty fucking British indie film. Absolutely fucking hilarious. You've got to have the right sense of humor, and you've got to understand. It's cultish. You'll either love it or you'll hate it. It's got that sort of slightly preposterous British thing going on. Another film that I watched recently was Shame, with Michael Fassbender and Carey Mulligan. It's about a sex addict, but I mean, fucking, there's a crazy amount of shagging in it. But if you can get past that, the wanton sex in it, it's actually a brilliant film. Like, Spy, let me know if any others come close you like, please, lol, Eugene. Which Baggio missed the penalty kick to shatter all Italian dreams? It was Roberto. Shit, it was Roberto Baggio I covered. Yes, it was. I believe that, Eugene. I have enough Iquitos to bathe in, and why? Who the fuck knows? Yeah, Roberto Baggio was world class. Yeah, he was class. It was when he cut his hair. Remember, there was a huge thing in Italy when he cut his hair. He used to have like fucking dreadlocks or something crazy like that, and then he cut his hair, and everyone was like, Him and Roberto Mancini used to play for. Roberto Mancini was one of those fucking Italian fucking footballers who, like, he couldn't not say what he thought. You know, he couldn't never bite his tongue. It's a miracle he got the Italian job. Will do, Bob. I think you like number 9 from one of your uploads vids. Lol. You walked into the Ritz Lounge with 2 sprays of Opus 6. All heads will turn, says Bob. Totti is my favourite Italian player. There's something special when a player is loyal to one club. Yeah, it was nice, that one. Spitter, though, wasn't he? Spat on someone once. Horrible man. I'm sure it was him. Manly Sense says, the best thing about Smelly streams by far is everyone trolling in the chat. Don't know, mate. I haven't watched any of his videos for fucking the best part of a year now. There's the one guy who wore perfume he hated wearing for compliments. That was, what's he called? Jesus, am I that far back? Dan is a great counterpuncher, though. I do not take my channel seriously, says Bob, but I do take my viewers seriously for sure. Yeah. Dan has a mean left hook. According to fucking Dino Baggio. How's the Leon? Still shite. Eugene is in troll mode. Peking Duck pour on. Duck Edemi, says Pradeep, by Fragrance du Bois. Does anybody... I told this story to somebody the other day and they couldn't believe it. Can anybody remember... there was a thread on Base Notes where somebody bought a Roger parfum, and they got that box, they opened it, and inside the box was a Fragrance du Bois perfume. Do you remember that? Crackers. Naviduck. Oh, God, no, don't. Howdy, Aaron. Duck Pate Porum, says FCM. Seriously, right? My biggest anxiety comes in the form of nightmares where I dream the perfumes have no smell. Yeah, he did. He told us that. He told us that the other night, yeah. It's just water, mate. It's just water. Oh, the horror, Eugene, says Michael. Lily says, do you dream in smells normally, Eugene? Spy and Mash says, Rachel, I've only smelled them from the lids so far. None seem bad or unwearable. Got to give them a proper wear. Good question, Lily. What's your watch, Rich? It's a Tag Heuer Calibra 5 Carrera. Sound. It's proper sound. The watch would last as the rest of my life if I want. I'll wait until I'm like 40 again before I buy myself another watch. Although that said, if I could get a vintage Santos with the papers and stuff like that, I would snap that up. I would love a Santos watch. And essentially, if I bought a Santos watch, I would just shave in a fucking, I would just shave in a mustache and just be done with it. Like, you know what I mean? I'd just wear a fucking, do you know what it is? I might even get like a synthetic, like, strap-on mustache. You know? Just go the whole fucking 9 yards, get a big, thick, fat fucking mustache. Get a slug off the street. Just put it on my top lip. You know? I just go for it. Love them Santoses, the older, like, little square vintage Santos things in that class. Love it. Would never buy a brand new one. Get a vintage one. Second-hand watch market's absolutely on fire. You can pick up all sorts of great stuff. I'd consult Greggy Boy first as well because he knows his shit. He's like he was with the fragrances. I think he's given up on his channel, you know. If you go to his channel now, I think he's got rid of all his videos. And I think that he's got like a watch as his avatar now. So he's like, I just don't think he's bothered about fragrances anymore. I mean, he's got his business selling them, obviously, but as far as content creation, I think he's gone off like the whole thingy. Why won't Demi's Dubai handler sponsor me as well? Why doesn't she have that? Why does she have that eye? I don't. I think of a couple of things. Duncan says, I had a scary dream about shitting my pants and I didn't know it. Christ. Thanks for being eye on that sample, sir. Hey, Aram, says Lily. Demi Dubai. I don't think they were related. I'm pretty sure they were cousins or something crazy like that, though. That's awful, though. Eugene says, I had a dream that Lily's legs were longer than a Rich Mitch stream. This is a good point. I need to bail in a minute. Like, we're going well past 3 hours now. Crikey. Eugene in a deep sleep. FCM says, I'm a leg man. I'm a legs man, says FCM. James Crowder, welcome, Squire. How are you? I have about 200 mil of Dolce & Gabbana Euro Italia. I've got about 300, to be fair. Kenneth Anderson for Sweden. Dear mate, Andreas Anderson. Do you remember Andreas Anderson? He was Swedish as well. He played for Newcastle. He was fucking dross when he played for us. Bought from AC Milan. Bon Vivere is a very good summertime dumb reach as Shiva Varane. Rich gonna have to hit 4 hours just to catch up in the chat, says Anoush. Anoush ran the math. Oh, shame. Manly sense that semen with an eye when the guy's paranoid from the drugs and starts to think all the graffiti on the public was directed at him. It is brilliant, that, isn't it? Who? I fuck arses? Who fucks arses? Maybe he fucks arses. We still kill the old way. British gangster movie. What about Roberto Navitas? Ugh. Pradeep says, Rich will go straight to Five Guys once he is done with the stream. Never again. Honestly, I think I've killed Five Guys for myself. I'm a stupid man. Didn't Bean just come out with a flick? They're a big deal in the UK. Nope. I don't think films are a big deal anymore if you can't just watch them at home. But I'm not the best person to watch. I don't watch TV anymore. I watch documentaries and fucking, like, fragrance videos, basically. Rich, let's have dinner at Five Guys. Yeah, all right. I'll get a milkshake. You're buying, though. It's fucking expensive over here. It's like 15 quid for a burger and a milkshake. Like, Rich, you need to get rid of that Internet Explorer. Oh, God. I thought Internet Explorer was already, like, gone. The key to a great burger is a good pickle. Ooh, no. British Five Guys serve tea, says FCM. I'm not sure they do, you know. Spy and Mash says Paolo Maldini made the Italian goalkeeper's job in the world. Was it Pagliuca? Was it Pagliuca, the goalkeeper, in 94? Could have been Toldo. I think Toldo came a little bit later, didn't he? But there was another one as well. It wasn't Zoff. That was 74. It was, I think it was Gianluca Pagliuca, which is a tremendous name. Mike V, I bought a Navitas perfume and there was a Dior fragrance inside. Mustache strap on, that is a new kink. Bobby loves pickles, clone of a clone. It's like that song, isn't it? Round, like in the circles of your mind. The windmills of your mind, I beg your pardon. Like a dream within a dream. Watch of the day, Omega SMP blue dial. My watch has got a black dial and I'm gutted. I want it to have a blue dial, but it doesn't. It has a black one because I don't want the day and the date on. I just want the date, you know. Bit of a meh. Vintage Mike V is back. Excuse me. I want a shawarma before I leave this world. Yeah, I'm not keen on the big lamb thing. It was Baresi. Well, it was Baresi and Maldini. Let's not take the piss. I mean, them two were fucking... Baresi was one of those defenders, like, who was just there. He was a right pain in the arse. He must have been awful to play against because he was just... he was like Cannavaro. Like, he wasn't like the tallest or the biggest, but he was just... He's timing, you know? Just more proof that, like, life is about timing, you know? What can you do? Santos beautiful watch. Yeah, you haven't lived until you've tried shawarma. Pradeep has no idea what Navitas is. Forward note says, were you on a Five Guys bender? No, just the once. And then he fucking killed us. What's the best duty-free place you guys have been to for fragrances? It's no good asking me. I don't travel if I can help it. Mr. Number 6, Pagliuca was the 94 goalkeeper. Thank you very much. Do they have Five Guys in Canada? Don't know. Good question, Dina. Lily was feeling very ill Thursday and made it worse with some burgers. That was Friday, actually. I took the medication on the Thursday, but then the fucking effects hit us on the Friday. I can safely tell you that I will be fucking curled up in bed this Friday. Walter Zenya? Nah, not Walter Zenya. Walter Zenya was a bit late. It was a bit earlier than the 94, wasn't he? Toldo was shite. Played for some great teams though. Who was the Juventus keeper in that fucking team in the late 90s that had Zidane and Davids and Vieri and Ravanelli and fucking Alan Boksic, Paulo Montero, Antonio Conte? Who was the goalkeeper for that team? The one that like got to like two or three Champions League finals in a row and lost like two of them. Juventus have only won the fucking European Cup twice, you know, which is bonkers to think about Juventus. Massive, massive team. I heard Demi, Mike V, here we go. I heard Demi, Steven, Max, Ross, and Chaos are starting a franchise, 5 shills. That's right. 5 shills. I didn't know. Do you know what it is? I've heard literally not Peruzzi. Yes, it could have been Peruzzi. You're right, Manly Sense. Oh, what was his first name? La 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 la. What was his first name? Was it Angelo Peruzzi? Yes, Angelo Peruzzi, Mike V. There you go. Love shit like this. Used to watch Football Italia. Like, I was massively, massively, massively into Italian foot. Still am. But I was kind of like when Juventus were like won like 10 in a row, that was just like, oh, fuck off shit. But like up until like the early 2000s, I was massively into like Italian football. I've always loved it. Loved that Lazio team, that like Veron pulling the strings. Like well, Nedved went to Juventus eventually, didn't he? But he played for Lazio for a while. They had fucking the book Crespo for like 30 million fucking quid when it was like unheard of to spend that kind of money on players. Hernan Crespo, what a player he was as well, by the way. One of the best finishers you'll ever see. The goal he scored in the Istanbul final, the little chip over fucking, like the little dink over Dudek. Whoa, to finish that was the pass from Kaka. He turned and took out about like 5 players, and then like he threaded another through ball through, took out about another 4. I'm getting carried away. Yeah, we should do an Italian football stream. That'd be good. No, Adam D. Yapstam didn't play for Lazio then. He went to Lazio after Yapstam went to Lazio after he went to AC Milan. Yapstam came from Holland, PSV, and then he went to Yapstam went from PSV to Man United to AC Milan to Lazio, I think. Good shout, Manly. Angelo Peruzzi. Huge workout like a maniac. Tight black t-shirt with logo for the commencement. 6-pack straights. When are you going to sell your juices, Eugene? Where to find them? He's going to set up a website, I do believe. Football Italia on Channel 4 was mint. I was properly mint as well, wasn't I? I'd wear a Lazio Les Abstrait. I'd wear a Les Abstrait traces, Lily. I live 100 kilometers from Italy, so that's the footy we watch most. Yeah, I imagine by proxy. It's like Scottish people watch English football, but they don't want to admit it, simply because Scottish football's absolutely dire. Even though Rangers got to the fucking Europa League final. They did that in spite of Scots. United should never have sold Yapstam. I think that Alex Ferguson admitted it was one of his greatest mistakes. Like, are there really t-shirts? Not yet, Lily, but there will be. Duncan, we're about a month away. Yes, everybody sending me emails saying you have Eugene's fragrance, send me a sample. You'll have to wait about a month, I'm afraid. As soon as Eugene gives the word, then I will start sending out samples in the UK. Bobby, get a quatrefoil tattoo and a haircut. Adam Dean, no Lazio first, then AC Milan. Yeah, you might be right, actually, now you've said that. My first game as a kid was Spurs versus Lazio, which ended 2-2. Awesome. AC Milan team in the 80s and the 90s, yeah, with Arrigo Sacchi and then Fabio Capello. I didn't realize Fabio Capello was a fucking scout and not a fucking like a coach and that. He was a fucking scout, you know. And then he just took over the team from Arrigo Sacchi, went on to win the Champions League twice in a row. Unbeaten as well. Unbeaten season in Italy in the early 90s. Crazy. I forget that time he broke down in tears when Marco van Basten got fucking taken off. Had to retire at 28, Marco van Basten, because the Italians kicked the shit out of him. Half the Dutch team and were amazing. You watch Bayern, Matt. The fucking Man United are going to turn into that. It's going to be like Louis van Gaal when he went to fucking Barcelona. He took half of Holland there with him and all. Eric Ten Hag's doing that at the minute. They're signing Frankie de Jong. They've already got Van der Beek. They've signed that fucking left back from fucking Feyenoord. It's crackers, man. Crackers. Brody, Mike Valentino beat me to it. Mike V says, I'm thinking of creating a fragrance. Going to name it Les Quatrefoils. Thoughts? Nailed it. I'm working 2.5 times today, saving clams like a good boy. Well done, Duncan. What watch you wearing, Rich? I am wearing a Tag Calibra 5 or a Carrera Calibra 5. Put them words in some order, you'll find out what I'm wearing. I would love a sample too, Eugene. Quatrefoil bullseye. Adam says Frankie de Jong is a generational talent. Boss were stupid to let him go than they do for the money. I can't see Donny van der Beek doing very well this season either. He couldn't get into the fucking Everton team last year, man. He's not physical enough. You know? You just get bullied off the ball. Big Joe Linton will just fucking squash him. Quatrefoil tramp stamp. Slag tag. Buona notte, Manly. What do you think if I release it without a notes pyramid? I know Eugene's tempted to do that, and I know why, because we were talking about it last night. Or we're talking about it maybe earlier today. He wants to know what everybody picks out. Because everybody's getting something different. It's the sign of a good fragrance as well. When nobody can tell what's in it. It's blended so fucking well. It's not a bad shout, that. The problem is that you've got that you're going to have to submit it to Fragrantica, and they will want a notes pyramid. Or you could just say to them, it's this new thing I've like created, fucking. It's this new fucking thing I've like done where I'm not telling anybody what's in the fragrance, just so I want to see what they say. Watch all the fucking fake fucking reviewers try to, excuse me, sorry. Watch all the fake reviewers try to fucking just guess what's in it, because they haven't actually got a clue. Quatrefoil condoms for the slightly disfigured, says Mike V. I don't know where you've got that idea from. Michael Harness says, I have a vacancy on my wall of fragrances waiting for your collection, Eugene. He's not going to do he's not going to do all three at once. I don't think. I'm saying that. I don't think he's going to release them all three at once. I think he's going to release one at a time. Which sounds like a decent idea. Eugene, no description at all? Or just not in a triangle? Please don't do the three notes thing, says Pradeep. Diaspada 67. Hello, how are you? Hi from Perth, Western Australia. 6:30 a.m. here. Good morning. Richard's winter here. Recommend pipe tobacco scent, please, sir. Cheers. Tobacco by George Zaharoff is quite a good fragrance. Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford. Fade On. PH, which is like it's Fade On with a PH, not an F. Called Tobacco Rouge. Some good tobacco fragrances. I don't want to say Shirgi. Although it has got a good tobacco note in it. But it's more like hay and iris for me. Probably one of those. The thing is that when people ask us to recommend them fragrances and I haven't got my collection in front of us, I sort of just like I have a bit of a brain fart usually, like. But they're three good ones that you could try. Duncan says to Eugene, you should do that, Eugene. You'll get to hear what all the broken noses think in it. That's a good point, yeah. Keep the notes a mystery. I'd be for no pyramid. The problem you would have is that the casual buyer, which you're going to need, would want a pyramid. They don't want that mystery. They want to know what they're smelling. You know? I'd be for no pyramid. Rachel, nothing at all. Let the wearers create a pyramid. Navitas blend. No biases. Everyone will experience from their own knowledge, own ideas, their own conception of what a fragrance feels like to them, says Lily. Rachel says, Eugene, interesting. Maurice Roussel made one like that for a small indie, but I've never ordered it and it has no subscription. See, that's the problem. You're gonna have people are not gonna like the hook, you know. Say if it's got fucking, I don't know. Say if it's got like oud as a note in it, right? All the people who like oud are gonna be like, oh, it's got oud in it, you know. Say if it's got patchouli in it. All the people who like patchouli are gonna be like, oh, it's got patchouli in it. It's got bergamot in it. All the people who like bergamot are gonna be like, ooh, I like that, you know. How often do you hear the words, oh, that sounds interesting? Simply because of the notes that people hear. I think it's an interesting thought experiment to not give anyone the notes, but I think practically, I think it's not something I would do. Fragrantiga. Hi, Dispada Tobacco by George Zaharoff. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's really good. Devil's Advocate, says Rachel. I'd want to know if at least if it's green or gourmand. Yeah, I must admit, like, I'd want to know. Where are we? I'm serious. Eugene knows no notes. Floral Note says, maybe release a ballpark scent profile for the fragrance. Michael Horner says, great idea, Eugene. No note list. Shiva Varun says, has anyone bought Also by Perfume and Roma? I have a bottle. If so, what do you think of it? I really like it. Saint Jean. Rachel says it should at least have a category like floral or woody, etc. Aramis Tobacco Reserve. The problem with Aramis Tobacco Reserve is that it is a green leaf tobacco rather than a pipe tobacco. Thanks so much, mate. Anytime, DS Butter. 67. Anytime you want. 72 in the chat. Don't be daft. 27, maybe. Yes, agreed, Rachel says floral notes. Pradeep says, maybe you can give a story write-up or a blurb with the key notes you want to convey. Just a suggestion, says Pradeep. FCM says, Roussel did Nautica Voyage. Some seem to think that he doesn't do fresh light. He's done the new, he's done that uncut gem, hasn't he? Duncan says you could come up with a fake note listing. That would throw people. I could give the inspiration story behind it with some accords, but leave the notes blank, says Eugene. Eugene had an S note, yes, like Mugler Cologne, that's right. Duncan says JJ is a great writer. Great written perfume reviews, absolutely. Secret sauce note. Roussel definitely can do fresh light, says Rachel. See Shalini Iris Lumiere, but he's known for his gourmands, in my opinion. James Crowder says top notes, grapefruit, mid notes, cedar, base note, ambroxo. God, don't do that. Eugene could answer something get inspired with your write-up, says FCM. Duncan says ketchup, mayonnaise, and relish. That's a great note. Yikes. Chutney. I could see chutney being a note in perfume. People, you know, like an outrageous gourmand. Or a cheese note. No, God, please, no. Put the note on a piece of paper and torch it. Submit that. If you can read it, you'll know. Lol, famous. There is no problem with tobacco reserve. I don't say there is a problem with tobacco reserve. Well, I do say there's a problem with tobacco reserve, is that it's not a pipe tobacco, it's a green leaf tobacco. The kid was after a pipe tobacco. Like Tobacco by George Zaharoff's really good. Fedon's Tobacco Rouge. Trying to think of like a straight up tobacco. Brain fart's a good note. Everyone keep typing so Rich will be on till tomorrow morning. No, that reminds us I'm off. Swiss mushroom burger is best. Good. Blech, can't eat mushrooms. Eugene says, here's a tip. There's 0 citrus in it. Ooh. But could that be a bluff? Product says vinyl, baby bath, sitting next to grandma in church, and butt sex. Rachel says Eugene, interesting. Michael says you tease Eugene. FCM says, I mentioned before how my big bottle of Aramis Tobacco Reserve went awry, dark, sour, rancid. Early bottle was always stored well. Only time it's ever happened to me. Ooh, that's painful. Don't like that sort of thing. And on that note, I am off. You kept me around an extra hour and a half longer than I intended to be here. You rascals. Bob with his crazy voodoo. His Hawaiian voodoo. Wow, the juice does turn quite dark. I haven't had any scent issues, says Duncan. Well, everybody, thank you for being here. I hope you have all had a good night. I have had a good night. I have enjoyed it regardless. I wouldn't have stayed if I hadn't. Thank you to everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you for everyone for liking, because you don't have to. We always have good conversations, I feel. And yes, thank you for being here with us. I will see you all again soon with more videos and live streams. Good night and goodbye.